Once upon a time, when the world was mostly ocean... Wait, the world is mostly ocean right now. This was a time when the world was slightly more ocean. Yeah. There lived a beautiful goddess named Tefiti, whose heart held the power to create life. All was well until one day when she fell under a frightful enchantment after her heart was stolen by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. After 1,000 years passed, he brought it back with the help of some random little girl and a heroic chicken. Also the ocean, which was alive for some reason. After that, Tefiti hid her heart from the world in order to prevent its misuse, locking it away in a far-off tower, there to await the retrieval of the handsome Pappy G. It was he who would endure blistering winds and scorching deserts, traveling for many days and nights, risking life and limb to reach Tefiti's keep. For he was the bravest and most handsome in all the land, and it was destiny that his possession of the heart would bring harmony to the world. He alone would climb to the highest room of the tallest tower, enter the heart's chamber, cross the room to its ovalish silhouette, pull back the gossamer curtains to find...
Oh hey, what's up?
Funding for Schaffrillas is provided by Belgium. Just the entire nation of Belgium sponsored this video. Hello, far, far away! Can I get a whoop whoop?
No.
Well, that was a letdown. Anyway, welcome to this new series, where Chris and I review mockbusters, aka cheap knockoffs of animated movies meant to cash in on those movies' success. I don't have a name for this series yet, but if you come up with a good one, leave it in the comments below, and if we use your name, then I will DM you a picture of a cinnamon roll on Twitter. Thank you. I don't want to review Shrek the Musical today, it's so bad. Let's review good musical instead. Tell you what, I'll review the musical that aligns the closest to what Mario screams when he gets hit in Mario Kart Wii. Let's listen. Doesn't it sound like he says SpongeBob? Discuss. Anyway, I just do what the Mario says. 2020 will go down in history as the year the Sonic movie came out and basically nothing else. Seriously, no movies came out this year for some bizarre unexplained reason. Disappointment in the game of life. Dinosaur is the most boring movie I have ever seen in my entire life.
What?
My number one thought when watching this movie was, perhaps I treated the good dinosaur too harshly. And oh boy, the maintenance team is a bunch of goofy, eccentric people who he really doesn't want to be around that much, but he learns to appreciate them over time. It's generic. This whole premise is extremely generic. Most of the dialogue in this show boils down to one of the characters saying something like, "Hey Tyler, it's time for the bazinganine!" And then Tyler just says, no bazinganine, thank you. And then that's just kind of the whole show.
Guys, gals, and non-binary pals, give it up for the one and only Judah.
Enough.
Disappointment in the game of life. I mean, what the f do you want me to say? The facial expressions are stiff, the lighting is flat, the backgrounds are sterile. Look at this shot of Captain Rex.
Look at it!
This was in theaters. This was considered okay for the big screen.
I'm gonna do it. None of you can stop me.
Frozen, Big Hero 6, and Zootopia have...
That was so mistakes.
Do I need to say it? Oh hey, look at that. I have 1 million subscribers now. Huh.
You know what that means.
It means it's finally time to talk about Tamatoa for 1 hour, baby! You see, a couple of years ago, I said this. However, he doesn't really fit with the theme of this video, so maybe I'll make an hour-long analysis about him one day. See, that is what we in the YouTube community like to call hyperbole. 2020 will go down in history as the year that the Sonic movie came out and basically nothing else. Did I already use this intro before? I don't even know, man. Time is a circle.
Where's Bojack?
Well, William, he's gone! I couldn't do that well.
Welcome to Smash Brothers. Have a look around.
Any gaming franchise you can think of can be found. We've got dozens of fighters, both classic and new. You're guaranteed a character important to you. Welcome to Smash Brothers. Hop into a fight. Would you like to one-on-one me or use items just for spite? We have oodles of options for competitive fans. Just don't bring up Melee cause that game is banned.
By the way, at the rate the Bettermans are inventing stuff, I think pretty soon they'll invent the computer. But how will they build a website to document all of the epic grug moments that happen? Simple, with Squarespace. The sheep is still so funny to me. I can't believe they even thought this was a good idea for a twist villain. Embarrassing.
Actually,
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
The villain is super lame. Oh ho, you can't stop me, Jill. I am the Night Fury Killer. Ho 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 ho. 6 out of 10, I like the Mega Man references. New Jackbox was pretty good overall, though my friends and I definitely got the most mileage out of talking points by far.
My name is Doofapus, and my talk is Sonic Adventure 2 in the end of me isn't a joke, so stop laughing. Well, you have no taste, okay? This is you, Perry the Platypus. This is your little peak and your fedora, and you just have no taste. You're covered in this vomit of your own poor taste, okay? Fuck you, Perry the Platypus. Sonic Adventure 2 is a masterpiece.
I hate Baby. I've always hated Baby, and not just because the show aired during the height of Justin Bieber craze, and he also had a song of the same name. Remember that? That whole era? It feels like it was 25 years ago, and I'm only 23. The haters are absolutely vicious when tearing into this franchise that many of them haven't even played at every opportunity.
forgot about that one.
As the saying goes, this show is like a box of chocolates. You never know what fucking insane, nonsensical shit is gonna pop out when you watch an episode. And I love this show for that. I love this show so much that when I recently started playing Final Fantasy VII for the first time ever, I just named my protagonists after the Chowder characters, and I have never been more satisfied with a decision in my life.
I wish I could be...
Sparky, stop. This is not a musical.
No, it's a gulag.
Yeah, Sparky, being forced to behave and listen to your father is exactly the same as being in a system of forced labor camps established during Joseph Stalin's long reign as dictator of the Soviet Union, where you have to work 14 hours a day, often in extreme weather, only to die of starvation, disease, or exhaustion, or get executed. Yeah, dude. Yeah. And from this tech demo, Pikmin was born. Sounds like a lot of... Sounds like a... Fuck around and find out.
There are some random cuts when the Care Bear tries to knock out Teddy, but at least they're trying something different. Oh, and he's dead. That bear is dead.
Disney shot the bed over and over again this year, but at least I finally have an answer to the question, what is your least favorite movie of all time? Thank you, Artemis Fowl, for filling that role. Considering how immersive and impressive the lightsaber effect is 98% of the time, seeing Vader walk around with a big white stick for a few seconds kinda throws me off a little bit. Fortunately, this is rectified, and I feel like if all the special edition changes were like this, just simple fixes for actual special effect errors, then I doubt anyone would complain about them. Or maybe there'd still be a crowd of people demanding that Disney #release the white stick cut. Actually, this is Star Wars fans we're talking about, so that would 100% happen.
First, you have to convince me that you're actually passionate about Tamatoa and that you haven't just been pretending for the past 4 years.
Sounds good. Wait, back up. You're the third highest ranking member of Goth Patty? I thought Salty was.
No, I'm pretty sure it's me.
Alright, whatever, it's not important. I'll tell you what you missed. While you were saying which episodes the people at home should watch, R3 showed back up and stole all of our private data.
Oh no! He actually did something competent.
If only there was a way to protect our private data so that this never happens again. Oh wait, there is. You can use Surfshark VPN. But whatever, all I did was prove that this musical was a dumb idea and never should have existed. Big deal! Just because something has no reason to exist doesn't mean it can't be good. Maybe Shrek the Musical is good. Of course it isn't, why else would this video exist? Think, viewer! By the way, seriously, go watch it if you haven't already, because this is a big video of spoilers. Everything will be spoiled. I'm gonna spoil Rexplode's credit card number, including the expiration date and the 3 wacky digits on the back. I feel like that's less of an invasion of his privacy than what Robot did, after all. Once upon a time, in the faraway land of Michigan, there was a group of university students who made a parody musical of Harry Potter, inventing the character in the process, much like how Hatsune Miku invented Minecraft. These students would then form Star Kid Productions, an organization dedicated to making musicals that delivered the 2 Ds, delightfulness and dick jokes.
She's sure to have a ball. Hey, be careful with that joke. It's an antique. Oh!
Their hilarious musical parodies spread all across the internet, delighting audiences everywhere. However, it wasn't until their 7th musical when they would create what is widely considered to be their magnum opus. This is that story. The untold story of a royal vizier. Anyway, everyone makes fun of Pankata because he doesn't like fighting, and then they laugh at him for being a virgin.
Who'd go out with you?
Alright, let's see. The next goth patty person seems to be in Ohio. Who the f lives in Ohio?
Hey y'all, Scott here. I'm in Goth Petty now. It's truly one of the best Tamatoa-themed cults out there. I've seen some good ones, let me tell you.
Woo! I'm here. It is very blue in here, wow.
Oh hey, it's the shiny guy with the unpronounceable name.
Oh hey, it's the 3rd highest ranking member of Goth Patty.
How did you know?
Never mind that. Do you have a Heart of Tafiti piece?
Wouldn't you know? I just gave my last heart piece to a generic looking me, but you can have one of my many copies of We Play if you're interested.
Okay. Damn, this thing had 9 games in one, and it came with a Wii remote? No wonder it sold like crazy. Oh shit, the quest! Got a blast! Master, a report. I calculate a 69% probability that we can save Zelda by creating a beautiful website that advertises the fact that she is missing, and that people should be on the lookout for her. I highly recommend using Squarespace in order to create this beautiful website. Here is more information about Squarespace, presented in a convenient advertisement format. It's not horribly confusing and absurd like it is in The Good Dinosaur, where some of the dinosaurs are like dogs and some aren't. Oh wait, I might be thinking of Dinosaur the Disney movie. Man, f Disney CGI dinosaur movies. All my homies hate Disney CGI dinosaur movies. I love this part.
International TV, huh? In front of all my friends.
Because it implies that Jeff's only friends are Beth, Katie, and Sadie.
What a sick joke.
And even though it seemed like an elaborate joke when it was first revealed in the PS5 showcase event, it proved to be an amazing game when it was finally released. The premise of this game is basically, what if Pokemon was good? We interrupt this coverage of the Super Boxy match to bring you an important news bulletin. Squarespace has agreed to sponsor the fight between Freak Teddy and Pankata. Here is an important message from Squarespace. Funding for Schaffrillas is provided by the Mets, baby! Love the Mets! Let's go! They mentioned the Mets in this movie. 10 out of 10. Oh, sorry, I just spoiled the whole thing. My bad. Oh, by the way, props to this movie for not doing a liar reveal thing with them being sea monsters. The girl doesn't act betrayed at all. She just wants them to leave so they'll be safe from the rest of the town. I should really look up what her name is since I've been talking about her a lot. Julia. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Jello and Luca then decide to do the race by themselves. God, what a perfect embodiment of the character. He feels young, overwhelmingly bubbly and positive, and a little bit naive. Honestly, it's such a captivating performance that 100% deserved a Tony, and I will die mad that he didn't win. But, you know, the band's visit was good too, I hear, so okay, sure. This level isn't inherently awful as long as you don't fall in the quicksand, because guess what? There's no checkpoint, so the instant death quicksand will make you lose all of your purple coins, even if you're at 99. Oh, isn't that fun? Isn't that good game design? F you. Wow, that took forever. Anyway, let's go meet the first Guardian. What the? Salty DK Dan? You're a member of Goth Patty?
Yeah, I'm a member. I even designed our logo. Don't worry though, I used a plant-based meat substitute for the patty. No cows were harmed during the making of the logo. The goth hair, on the other hand, that was real. I used real hair for that.
Oh wait, hold that thought. I'm getting an urgent transmission from Zero the Hut. Oh, hi, it's me, Zero the Hut. I'm just really bored in prison. I wish I could do something fun like make a website for my Hut Empire business and stuff. Wow, Zero the Hut from Star of the Clone Wars. Didn't you know that you can make a website? Really? How can I do that? using Squarespace.
Strap yourselves in, grab some popcorn. Hell, straight up just get dinner and bring it to your phone or computer or viewing device, I don't know.
I thought for damn sure I was gonna make it through this Pixar marathon without crying once. I cleared the opening of Finding Nemo, the opening of Up, the end of Toy Story 3, the end of Inside Out. Literally nothing was gonna make me cry. Oh, god damn it. You all know that Hootie is my favorite character in the show. It's not even a contest. And so I was already looking forward to this Hootie-centric episode so much. Way more so than the average Owl House fan, since I saw a ton of people saying, oh, it's probably just gonna be a lighthearted filler episode about Hootie. You dumb fucking cretins. You fucking fools. Absolute fucking buffoons. You bumbling idiots. Fuck you.
Up next, Chicken Little.
I actually really liked Chicken Little as a kid. I thought it was really funny and off the wall and one of my favorite Disney movies at the time. This is why kids shouldn't have opinions. Chicken Little is one of the worst animated movies I've ever seen. I can't believe Disney actually stooped this low. Like, holy shit, you have to try to make a film this awful.
What's wrong with you? Are you really that stupid?
Oh baby, we got a new Tarantino shot in the house. Slow down. This Dean appears to have no life outside of tormenting Mike and Sully. Like, oh my god, get over yourself. Blanley sucks. I bet you forgot about her existence before this video reminded you.
It's Blanley!
What? Her? Suddenly, in the last 10 minutes of the film, it's a happily ever after now. 6 months pass, and they all suddenly love each other for some reason, and everyone in the house is a slave to the spoiled brat earwig, and her mom suddenly comes back with no explanation as to where she was or why she came back at all. Isn't that great? Fuck this movie! Its few likable elements have been done before in much better Ghibli movies. Its characters are horrendously unlikable. Its animation is insanely unpleasant. Its story is objectively unfinished. This is my least favorite animated movie of all time. If I were Goro Miyazaki, I would flee the country at this point. I would literally never be able to look my father in the eyes again. Let's all just pretend this never happened and move on with our lives. Who's next?
Hey, did you know I'm a member of Goth Patty, and my rank in the group is 3 out of 12. It's closer to a 4 than a 2.
I'll unravel the mystery of how that works later. Until then, do you have a piece of Te Fiti's heart?
Yeah, I got a heart piece.
And do you want me to prove my worth by explaining how great Tamatoa is?
What the fuck? No, I don't care about that. Give me the entire Cool Cat HD collection on VHS, and then I'll give you the heart piece.
Oh, okay. Be right back. Alright, let's see now. Who out there could possibly give me the Cool Cat HD collection on VHS? Got it.
So Adam wants the Cool Cat HD collection, huh? I guess I'd be able to part with it, but only if you give me the limited edition TY Mort Madagascar Beanie Baby.
Okay, be right back. Alright, think. Who could get me that plushie? Well, guess I could complete the trio and ask Ralph.
I'll give you that. But first, you gotta get me a copy of China Salesman starring Steven Seagal and Mike Tyson on Blu-ray.
Okay, I'll find that too, no problem. There's no way this is gonna turn into a big, elaborate, ridiculous trading quest, right? Right? Wow, look at that. This is cinema. Look at the
This is a Quentin Tarantino film.
Like, reflecting on him. Yeah. Like, just the cinematography is just
oh my
astounding.
god, why is it gotta be silent as he walks in?
Why did we have to see him walk over? What was the purpose of that shot?
Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
The most aggravating thing about this movie is that it would have been significantly better if the Barley character was voiced by anyone. Literally anyone other than Chris Pratt. Well, I guess that's not true. It could have been worse. He could have been voiced by James Corden.
Let's roll! Bye, Felicia. It's everyone's favorite key to all this, JJ. No, the other one. How do you even mix those two up? It's Jar Jar. We're talking about Jar Jar.
Who the hell is this Tamatoa thing?
Who?
What is he?
What?
How did he come to be here?
How?
Shut up, I'm trying to talk about it.
Hey, don't be mean to the puppet. He's doing his best.
I know. At this point, the new mission stages with Olimar and Louie are the closest thing we're getting to Pikmin 4. So, fine.
You're not really fun.
When words fail is also a pretty nice number, but just kind of forgettable. And I always get it mixed up with Words Fail from Dear Evan Hansen. I mean, they're kind of about the same thing, right? I'm pretty sure Shrek manipulated a family into believing he was best friends with their dead son in order to pretend he had cool parents and a girlfriend. Oh wait, no, Shrek isn't a sociopath, never mind. None of his actions should be excused, but you understand the character's initial intentions before he grows into a privileged little shit that rightfully needs to be knocked off his wrongfully obtained pedestal. Evan's initial naivete is at the core of why I believe this story still works. The most important thing to do when casting him is to emphasize his youth and find a kid that can really sell how uninformed and childish he is. Oh my god! He is literally just a regular guy with a wife and kids at home who works for a shipping company. The entirety of Pikmin is basically, what if an Amazon delivery guy got stranded on an alien planet? And it's compelling because of how simple yet extremely high the stakes are. Alimar's ship broke into 30 pieces scattered across this planet, and he has 30 days to repair his ship and escape before his life support systems fail him and he fucking dies, making his wife into a widow and his children fatherless. This is a Nintendo game. Talk about being potentially alienating. Do you get it? Because he's on the alien. F you. Everyone has their theories about the merchant from the original Aladdin who tells us the story. Is it the genie because he wears blue and is also voiced by the same voice actor as the genie? Nah, that's too obvious. It was actually Ness the whole time. But hey, that's not what this show does, obviously. He also destroys the ending of The Sopranos, which is probably my favorite 2007 related joke from this episode. Woke up this morning, broke the ending of the Sopranos television series while shimmying out a window. So I got Skyward Sword for Christmas and I just fell in love with it. The characters, the story, the art style, the one-to-one sword combat, the backtracking, the tad tones, the fire interruptions, the imprisoned a second time, the imprisoned a third time. It was amazing, kinda. Everyone on Letterboxd said this movie was boring, and to that I say, shut up. You're boring.
This feels like a good time to mention that Zach Braff is in this episode and we have to listen to his stupid voice. Gosh, how could anyone listen to a voice like that for minutes on end?
Who looked at this horrifying monster and said, yeah, we can cutify that?
You know, it's stylistically designed to be cute, and we can do that. We can diminish the effects of its not cuteness.
It's so dense. Every single frame has something cute going on.
Also, this is an incredibly pedantic nitpick, but I love the scene where Ahsoka says the baby hut is burning up, and Anakin feels how warm he is using his robot hands. Like, yeah, I'm sure that gave you a good sense of his temperature. And for some inexplicable reason, everyone thinks this tall, buff polar bear is Pandacot, the notably short and rotund panda. Quick question, do these people have eyes? This is what the entire rest of the plot hinges on. Everyone believes that this guy and this guy are the same person. Chris, do you have anything to say about that?
What?
That's what I thought.
I haven't seen a brawl like this since Polaris the Demolisher ruled the ropes.
Gee, I wonder why this reminds me of Polaris. I freaking wonder, bear guy.
I haven't seen blasts like this since taco night at James Earl Jones' house.
As the years went on, whenever I got a hankering to replay a Zelda game, I would look at all of them next to each other and say, I could replay Skyward Sword and deal with the constant misalignment of the Wii Remote, awkwardly flapping my wrist to control the Loftwing, and a whole host of structural problems that I'll get into later. Or I could play any of the other 3D Zelda games and not do that. I always ended up choosing any of the other 3D Zelda games.
Welcome to Smash Brothers. Get into a lead. All you need to do is spam that PK fire shit to cheat. We got spirits, no trophies, and no target test. But we got a bunch of online fan of the Wii Fit Trainer and Palutena fucking each other.
As you can see, this is me after watching every Illumination movie. These are the minions. Which one is Bob?
At long last, I can finally explain what makes Tamatoa the greatest Disney villain in cinematic history. And like, that's not even a false statement. I'm gonna prove it over the course of the next hour.
Bish, you really think you have enough to say about Tamatoa for an hour? Really?
I sure do. Wait, what, William? I thought I told you to stop breaking into my house.
Okay, but if you go outside and you don't come back for 15 minutes, legally the house is mine.
Good thing I don't have a life and never leave the house, right?
And if you look to your right, you can see Cody on stage with his teammates, not singing and not getting eliminated. Amazing. How does he do that? It's still a mystery.
have 60 stars! Now you can travel to the center of the universe and take on Bowser! But before you do that, I could really use a website to promote my new storybook on sale now. Do you know of any way to create a website like that?
Do I know how to create a website like that? Yeah. Who do you think you're talking to? They don't make the memes about it for nothing. Let me tell you about Squarespace. It has maybe my favorite implementation of a Disney character into the actual gameplay. That, of course, being Remy the Ratatouille. I swear to God, you guys, I'm breaking character now. Okay, so I wrote the script in 2019. That's not a reference to the Ratatouille TikTok musical. That is a pure coincidence. I literally wrote Remy the Ratatouille in 2019. That's not... Where's my royalties, Ratatouille TikTok musical? I invented that in my script. Here, proof. Here's a screenshot. Last edit October 10th. It's proof. To this day, I have no earthly idea what the writers were intending with this surreal, maniacal, inexplicable being. And yet, it is perhaps one of the funniest creations I have ever borne witness to in existence. I don't entirely understand why the characters are reacting as dramatically as they are to this creature, and yet, in a very real sense, I do. Even in a universe this wacky and insane, a being like this simply crosses the line in terms of things that were never meant to be seen by mortal eyes. This is what happens when you don't stop to question the creative decisions you're making as they're being made. This is utter chaos. This is sheer insanity. This is chowder. And also, why was Void set up as someone important, only to not be important? I thought for sure they were building up to her getting freed by Violet on the boat, and then the two of them team up to free everyone else. That would have made for such a great, natural dynamic, and it would be a good payoff for establishing Void as a character. But no! Just give me my superhero lesbians already, Pixar! What are you waiting for? Big balls! Pompoko isn't nearly as weird as most people were telling me going in. Just because these raccoons magically inflate their ball sacks and use them to beat people to death doesn't mean this is a weird movie. However, Xenoblade is not nearly as long-running or prolific as Fire Emblem yet, and it's understandable why it hasn't gotten the representation it deserves yet. Still though, DLC. Make it happen.
Okay, we did do that. And now for one of the biggest plot twists. Polaris only got Pancata hyped to fight Teddy because he bet all his money on Teddy to kick his butt, thus making him the richest bear in the city that doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Just let that one sit for a moment. The ultimate conclusion of this movie is that the main character loses horribly, but it's okay because their boss bet that they would lose and got rich off of it. Imagine that episode of SpongeBob where he and King Neptune had a cook-off, except King Neptune won, and the moral of the story is that Mr. Krabs got filthy stinking rich. That's your movie. Thanks for coming, Dick Nips.
I think it was a Nintendo Mii wearing a green shirt, and he had a pretty generic face. Like, I'm talking super generic. You should go find him.
Believe me, I will.
Wait, before you go, do you want to learn the goth patty cake? No? Shave? He's already gone, isn't he? Goth patty cake, baker's man.
The original is fine. Like, it's in character for Han to chase 5 or 6 guys into a corner and then realize, I never thought I'd get this far, and then run away. But the reveal of there just being a million stormtroopers is so fucking funny. It makes me want to merge without looking.
Yeah, Rumsfeld! Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
What a smooth transition about our wacky and even bizarre Persona streams.
I'm actually in this content. Hooray for Pappy!
Go home, Patrick. Anyway, bring it on home, James!
Yeah, the little panda fighter is, not good. Is that good? Should I keep going, or is that enough?
Honestly, you convinced me after you complimented Hamilton. You could have stopped there.
That was like the second thing I said. Why didn't you just tell me?
I didn't want to interrupt.
You interrupted me later about the puppet.
Anyway, here's your heart piece.
This movie will speak to you and encourage you to keep trying after learning lessons from each failed attempt. Like, do you know how terrible some of my videos used to be? Like, holy shit, dude, they sucked. But now, after learning so much from my failures and gradually getting better and better and making videos, I can safely say that my videos now, they're pretty okay. If I was anybody but myself, I'd probably put this video on in the background while playing Minecraft or something. And that's the kind of improvement I'm really proud of. Right off the bat, it was such a genius choice to make Will Smith's character a cow instead of a fish. It makes perfect sense in retrospect. Like, it's basically a commentary on how capitalism is milking us dry of our aspirations and dreams. It makes the Will Smith character infinitely more likable and identifiable. But on paper, a random blue guy saying famous movie quotes is kinda lame and not funny. Didn't laugh. See, I wanted to go swimming on Tour Timer Island, which is a stage in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS, which Fire Emblem characters can be in, but unfortunately, there's a shark there, so I can't swim.
Oh my god!
I also cannot surf because Funky Kong is not playable. Damn. If only I could do something surf and shark related that was really good and could protect my online data. I've got it. Surfshark VPN. It's arguably their most audacious film to date, shining a light on the slow decay of our planet and the plague of megacorporations monopolizing every aspect of our lives. I'm shocked that real life, by and large, was okay with Pixar making this film.
Okay, I'll give you that. But first, you gotta get me the actual staff of Moses.
I can give you that, but first you'll have to give me a huge block of cheese.
Yeah, sure, I can give you that, but first I'll need a QB amiibo.
Sure, I can give you that, but I think you're gonna have to give me a whole head of broccoli first.
Well, I mean, I can give you that, but first off, I'm gonna need you to get a little something for me. A little, cheese nips, as they would call it.
I can give you that, but first you need to give me a plate of scrambled eggs. Warm.
How about if, Oh, I got it! Do you have any of these Walt Disney Treasure DVDs?
Sure, I'll give you this, if you can get me one of them dingle hoppers.
I'll give you that, but first you need to give me an 80-liter barrel of tea.
Yeah, I can give you that, no problem. But in exchange, you're gonna need to bring me the D from the Hollywood sign.
Sure, I'll give you that. But first, you have to give me a Brian Griffin plush from 1999. Don't give me any of that mid-season shit either. It has to be the real authentic thing from like the early days of the show.
I'll give you that, but first, you need to give me the password to your YouTube account.
Oh, finally! I could do that no prob. Wait, what was my password again? I always just automatically get logged in. Huh. Hey, I'm really drawing a blank here. Can I just get someone else's password instead?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay, let's find someone willing to give me their YouTube password. What's that? 3 bells! You all know what 3 bells means, right?
Free ice cream!
No, you silly billies! No! It means the sky is falling! Everybody stay calm. Let's just all check Twitter for updates on the current apocalypse. Oh no! The only thing trending on Twitter is a Minecraft YouTuber sneezed or something. I mean, I guess that is more important than everything else that's going on with the world. So yeah, I guess Twitter has good priorities. But still, if only someone made a website that could give us updates on the falling sky. Looks like we better get on that. Using Squarespace. Now, one common criticism of the Snyder Cut I've seen from mouth-breathing idiots online is that it borrows too heavily from other DreamWorks movies. Like, there's a lot here from both the Prince of Egypt and the Kung Fu Panda series. Well, I have news for you dumbasses. Those criticisms are invalid if you do the tiniest amount of research. Zack Snyder has been working on Shark Tale since 1994, 4 years before Prince of Egypt came out, and a bajillion years before Kung Fu Panda. Not only did DreamWorks deny him his vision for Shark Tale, but they straight up stole his ideas for their other animated films, while also releasing his baby as a broken, empty husk of a movie that somehow got an Oscar nomination. Also, now that I've seen the best animated movie ever made, The Tale of the Princess Kaguya, I just want to point out that this
Big Hero 6
might be the most embarrassing fuck-up in Oscars history. Aside from Brave and Happy Feet winning Best Animated, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Boss Baby, and Shark Tale getting nominated for Best Animated, Crash winning Best Picture, Green Book winning Best Picture, Bohemian Rhapsody winning Best Editing, Suicide Squad 2016 winning Anything, Rise of Skywalker getting nominated for Best Score, Michael Keaton losing Best Actor, Shakespeare in Love winning Best Picture, The King's Speech winning Best Picture, Todd Phillips getting a Best Director nomination, the horrendous Moonlight La La Land fiasco, the horrendous Doing Best Actor Last is a Tribute to Chadwick without Chadwick winning fiasco, the horrendous Jimmy Kimmel hosting 2 years in a row somehow fiasco. Wait, what was I even talking about?
Was a mistake.
In the middle, they go to an arcade where there's a live chicken who plays tic-tac-toe against anyone who pays to play. What the f*** was that? Is that a real thing? I imagine the filmmakers were scouting locations for the film. They stumbled upon this real arcade with a real live chicken, and they said, well, we can't just not put that in the film, right? Seriously, that's the only explanation I have for this scene. I racked my brain for literal hours trying to figure out if this chicken scene was relevant to the movie's themes at all, and I got nothing. Just forget about the amazing, heartbreaking, subtly profound story. Watch this movie for the chicken alone.
They'll probably listen to me because I'm the 3rd highest ranking. Anyway, good luck. I just telepathically set the directions to the second Guardian into your brain.
Whoa, that's amazing. Thanks. On to Goth Patty Person number 2. Hey everyone, it's James and Chris, and we're watching
a god-awful movie that I referenced in our last god-awful movie review of Ratatouille, which is called The Little Panda Fighter.
Yes, the cinematic classic, esteemed, I think it won Best Picture. It played at Cannes Film Festival, The Little Panda Fighter. The most iconic film. I don't even think I watched the trailers for it. I just said, okay, whatever, and walked into the theater hoping for the slim chance that it would at least be on par with Pixar's best recent offerings, like Coco and Soul. And it wasn't. As a matter of fact, this movie is even better than both of them. It stands toe-to-toe with Moana and Lilo and Stitch as one of the best Disney movies to come out of the 21st century. How did this happen? They're dumber than this. Apparently not. As long as Disney kept making musicals, they could keep making villain songs, baby. And then along came Frozen. This movie does not have a villain song. Shut up, Love is an Open Door doesn't count. Olaf, Kristoff, and Anna make for a great trio that play off of each other really well. Even though I feel very little romantic chemistry between Anna and Kristoff, they genuinely give off more sibling energy than anything, which is horrific to think about, but maybe Disney should think about putting believable romances into their movies. Ooh, hey, bada bing! The movie's actually really well directed, and a lot of the scenes have sufficient tension. Plus, it looks real pretty. And like, that's it. It's Frozen, I don't know, what do you want from me? I don't think my opinion on this movie will ever really change again. Give me suggestions for what to talk about the next time it appears in a ranking video. I have nothing left to milk with this movie. Unlike Disney, ooh, hey, bada bing! Things really heat up when you go to Traverse Town and meet the beloved character Final Fantasy. Oh, also Donald and Goofy. So, I'm in an interesting boat here.
Hey, get off my dinghy!
You are 100% a somebody.
Oh, I will be.
What?
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's all gravy today. I noticed that this letter came into the mail for you.
Ooh, a letter? Who's it from?
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. I don't know what this is, but it's probably worthless. Here you go.
Sonic's been here 13 years and still he's all alone. Ganondorf has been here 20 and he still plays like a clone. Players Pac-Man or attack the man who brought everyone back because the game like Dante crash and knock. Don't call him slack cause he's a hacking sucker. I hate modern Kirby, never played the games. There's 8 Fire Emblem fuckers, why do they all play the same? Can we get a new Zelda rep that's not a Link? Who cares about Ridley and Banjo if their movesets stink?
Not just another Fire Emblem rep, but a bad Fire Emblem rep. I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I hate Corrin. I've been suppressing it this whole video, but holy shit was Corrin such a bad decision for inclusion. This one tiny detail at the end of the show basically makes it so everything you just witnessed could be completely canon if you wanted it to. This is no longer just a fan fiction about how the story would be if Jafar was a good guy. This could totally be what happened since you don't have to believe the narrator in the original Aladdin was telling the real story. This is the real story. Ahmed really did f*** that tiger. What? Cars 2 is a movie for infants and absolutely no one else. Do I not sound angry enough? Well, that's because I straight up don't care. I don't give a shit about Cars, and while this movie permanently dented Pixar's morale and sent them on a decade-long losing streak, it's not like it ruined a franchise I was emotionally invested in. This is a terrible idea for a bad franchise, and this movie is the exact legacy that John Lasseter deserves. You. And I truly believe that a lot of this hatred could have been avoided if it wasn't for Corrin. Corin is the Shrek the Third to Byleth's Shrek Forever After. So, shockingly enough, Meet the Robinsons is a thematically rich film with many well-developed ideas and concepts throughout. Again, compare this to Chicken Little. What was the theme there? Aliens? Everyone being an asshole? Bullshit? The plot is about Chicken Little wanting to stop getting bullied by the town and emotionally abused by his father. So he wins a baseball game and everyone loves him now. That's it. Movie over, right? Ha! No, idiot! Cause now the movie's about aliens for some reason. Yes, this is a baseball movie that becomes an alien movie. I can't concentrate. Yeah, just pick one. Pick one.
I can do this for you. But first, you're gonna have to give me the limited edition Sonic the Hedgehog Blue Curry.
Oh, I can give you that for sure. But first, you're gonna need to meander on down to the Tasty Pizza Factory and get me one slice, if you don't mind.
I'll give you that. But first, you need to give me a plate of ratatouille served gourmet style procured by well-trained French rats.
I'll give you that, but first, you need to give me Kakuto Joujin Back Alley Brutal on OG Xbox.
Yeah, of course you can have it, but first, I'm gonna need that Pepper Ann DVD box set.
I can give you that, but you'll have to give me a tailor-made, handcrafted fursuit of Tigress from Kung Fu Panda.
Of course I'll give you that, but first, you gotta get me some more creativity.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But first, you need to give me an unopened copy of Zelda 2.
I'll give you that, but first, you have to give me dinner.
Oh! Yeah, sure, I can get you that. But first, you need to get me a battery for my vibrator.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But first, I need you to get me Blue Banana.
Sure, I can give you this, as long as you give me Goro Akechi's glove first.
Sure, I can give you that, but in exchange, I would like a Tamatoa X Reader Enemies to Lovers fanfic, with or without the smut.
No, yeah, like, you can totally have this. I'm just gonna need your credit card information, the expiration date, and those 3 wacky digits on the back, please.
Finally, something I actually have. Here you go. Now let me go trade this for the thing that I need to trade for the other thing that I need for the other thing, and I wanna die.
That was quick. I genuinely thought it would take you years.
It felt like years.
Anyway, here's your heart piece. Bye.
Oh, thank God. Man, that trading quest was awful.
You know, James, I have the exact same war plush I Hate Everything was looking for. You were there when I bought it. You could have just asked for it from the start.
Bojack and Diane eventually find the missing Cuddly Whiskers, and the ending of this episode is especially effective due to what a fantastic foil Cuddly Whiskers is for Bojack and Diane. Diane tells Cuddly Whiskers that he can't just disappear, and that doing so hurt a lot of people, like the dead stripper who had an addiction problem and came to Cuddly Whiskers for help. Cuddly Whiskers, however, insists that it's more important to take responsibility for his own happiness, and that it doesn't matter that he left everyone and everything behind. All that matters is that he's happy now. Bojack and Diane don't take this advice well, and why would they? They both did exactly what Cuddly Whiskers did last season. They were overwhelmed with their responsibilities and they were tired of running in circles, so they left it all behind. Diane left Cordovia and her own marriage, and Bojack left the tar pit of LA to stay with Charlotte's family. As it turned out, leaving everything behind didn't make either of them happy in the end. Diane remained miserable throughout her tenure at Bojack's house, and Bojack pushed too hard with Charlotte and had to leave. The problem for Bojack wasn't the tar pit he was trying to escape from. It's him. So after these two tried and failed to give everything up in their pursuit of happiness, it's no wonder that they don't believe in what Cuddly Whiskers is telling them. It's no wonder Diane's last line in the episode is,
I just want to go home.
Back to her crumbling marriage. Because where else can she go? What else could possibly make her happy? The villain is literally just Randall again, but without the wit or threatening presence. I'm sorry, I take that back. I love you, Chick Hicks. You're the best.
Hey, speaking of cars, maybe next time we should do a Cars Life. Doesn't that sound like a fun time, James?
On the next Schaffrillas Productions, Schaff talks about why you should buy Raycon earbuds. Actually, he says it right now. This is the sponsored part. And why do they use holding out for a hero in that opening scene of episode 2? Yeah, you knew I was gonna talk about that. What the hell was the idea there? Who's the hero in this scenario? The scene is so aggressively mediocre and it doesn't go with the absolute banger of a song at all. You should be ashamed of yourselves, Marvel. Pringles and Fern the movie Can't Dance Against the Unversed is a great movie. So yeah, this sounds like a banger of a show on par with Clone Wars, right? I'm kinda leaning towards nah.
You what?
There's also this weird redub moment of the TV broadcast.
Former national heavyweight champ Freak Teddy and current champion Pancata.
Like how
Unprofessional.
can you get? They really thought,
No one would.
notice? Sideways, for the love of God, please tell me you have a piece of Tafiti's godforsaken heart.
Oh, hey, man. Yep, I totally do. It's honestly a really big honor. Like, they only entrust the heart pieces to the 3 highest ranking members of the Goth Patty. And wouldn't you know it, I just happen to be ranked 3rd.
Literally, who is number 1 and number 2? What is going on?
Okay, you seem like you're in a hurry, so I'll give you an easy task to prove yourself. Just prove that Shiny is a well thought out song musically, and you'll pass.
Well, that's easier done than said. Ocarina and Majora, Wind Waker, Link to the Past, Breath of the Wild, everyone is here. Except Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, but the former did get 2 whole Smash games to themselves, and the latter is Skyward Sword.
Ooh, let's say that you only...
There's a side quest where you get to watch Gapora bathe. Oh wait, that's not a side quest, that's just a random thing you can do. You can watch this old man bathe if you want.
I say we take a bath.
Hey William, guess who's gonna talk about Season 3, Episode 10? It's you.
It's me?
No, that's just the name of the episode.
Oh, it's called It's You? Then who's on first?
No, that time I was referring to the fact that it's you who will be discussing It's You.
My name's not you, it's William.
Oh, for the love of... Hello, Mario, it's me, Kingpin K. Rool, and I'm here to tell you that it's March 31st, 2021, so it's time for you to die. Oh no, don't kill Mario. You don't have to do this. Yeah, unfortunately I do, Mario. It's time for you to go to hell before you die. To be perfectly honest, it feels really unfair to rank Surf's Up 2 Wave Mania as a part of this list, for one simple fact. It is not a movie. It is a feature-length commercial. And no, I'm not exaggerating. This isn't like other movies that are filled with excessive product placement, yet at their core can still be considered feature films, like Space Jam 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet, or even the Emoji Movie, which I'm sure you all expected to be at the bottom of this list. And now as we speak, you're probably editing your smug comments that read, I will bet my entire life savings that the Emoji Movie's at the bottom of this list. There has never been a more obvious bottom spot in any ranking video ever. And you're editing those comments to just say, oh, shit, this is Space Jam 2. Shut up and consume. The fact that these are Looney Tunes characters doesn't even matter in the slightest. They honestly add nothing other than occasional references to their original cartoons. You could replace the Looney Tunes with Scrimbo, Bimblo, the lovable Scrunko, and it would make no difference. This is Space Jam 2.
Dear Schaffrillas Productions, we believe you may be the chosen one, and we need you to come face our trials in order to restore the 12 pieces of the heart of Tafiti. Here's a map to the first Guardian, don't get lost. Love, the Guardians of the Heart Pieces and top tier YouTubers, aka Goth Patty. P.S. Once the full heart is restored, we want you to deliver it to Tamatoa, the heart of Tafiti.
Goth Patty.
What the? Would you get out of here?
Wow, that is a cool letter. You should follow exactly what it says.
I totally should. Thanks, bro.
Oh no. Thank you.
If I had gone through with killing everyone, it would have been so much easier to come to terms with what I did. I just played a video game with a branching path where you can be a dick and kill everyone, only to fight a hard skeleton boy and get a jump scare at the end. Fun stuff that I don't have to be super emotionally invested in, because I can just consider it a what-if scenario if I was possessed by a demon named Kara and or Akechi. But I couldn't do that with a near-genocide neutral route playthrough, because it was still me. Kara Kechi didn't kill those people, I did. I murdered Papyrus in cold blood, and even though Sans was upset, he still let me pass. He saw a spark of humanity in me despite everything. It was an act of mercy that I didn't deserve based on what I took from him, but he gave it to me anyway. And after reflecting on it all, I couldn't help but think, is this how Flowey feels? He did everything in his power to be seen as a maniacal monster, and if you spare him, he doesn't understand why, considering everything he's done. Everything he's put you through, just like how I can't begin to understand why Sans would let me go. After holding so much disdain for Flowey as a character, I finally came to understand him by essentially becoming him, and being offered the same inexplicable, earth-shattering mercy that made me run off, unsure of what to do with myself and how I could possibly move forward after this. All because I read 5 words of dialogue that only appeared because I didn't fight 2 enemies. You'd think that being loved by a ton of people you don't know personally is enough to make you feel less alone, but it really isn't. They don't know the real you, and you're constantly worried that if they did, they wouldn't like you at all anymore. You think this admiration from afar will make you feel happy and fulfilled, and when it doesn't, you feel more alone than you would if all these people didn't know about you. There's a whole lot of truth to this line, and that's what makes it hurt all the more. Also, Diane is pregnant. Okay, let me back up. She did drugs at a party she was accidentally invited to, and she broke her wrist, and Dr. Pig told her she's pregnant.
I diagnose you with Babby.
Oh, here we go. Back to the Tarantino. Now the stripes are... Oh, we gotta watch. Here he goes. There he goes. He's walking. Oh, we didn't get to see the full walk. God, oh, that's so disappointing. Show us the full walk. Release the walking cut.
Hashtag release the walk.
If you want your show's music to feel unified and cohesive, it only makes sense to get one person or team to do every song in the show. Not every show is like this. For instance, if you want your show to consist of popular music that barely fits the context of each scene, you can make a jukebox musical. Whatever happened to our love? I don't like jukebox musicals, but you do you. Now, riddle me this, dear viewer. What the f*** did Tiana do to turn? What the f*** did Tiana do to deserve? What the f*** did Tiana do to? What the f*** did Tiana? What the f*** did Tiana? This is the hardest thing I've ever had to say. What the f*** did Tiana do to deserve turning into a frog?
Dooku, being the megalomaniacal maniac he is, uses a sand attack on Anakin and manages to kill Jabba's son.
I have just killed Jabba's son.
You fool! I have 70 alternative accounts!
Oh, I've been tricked.
Oh man, you tricked me. You got me good.
I got you, man. It's absolutely ridiculous that this TV show Bolt is on goes to such insane lengths to make this dog think that the show he's on is his real life. Like, they don't do alternate takes because it'll ruin the immersion for the dog, which will apparently ruin the immersion for the audience. Does the movie not realize how insane that sounds? Do you see how many special effects this show requires? What if one of them didn't work that day and they had to redo the shot? That seriously never happened before? None of the actors have ever messed up in front of Bolt? Are you kidding me? Uh-oh, Bolt thinks his owner is in trouble and he escapes, but now he has to realize that he's not actually a super dog, just a regular dog. But he also learns that to a kid, being a regular dog is just as super as being a super dog. Why yes, movie, I have seen Toy Story before. I love watching a lamer version of Buzz Lightyear's character arc. Then there's this annoying cat with a terrible New York accent and this mildly annoying hamster, and also Bolt is voiced by John Travolta, who annoys me personally. You know what could have made this movie better? Have Bolt be voiced by Adam West. Play up his superhero tendencies even further. Have him be like, "Egads, what is this styrofoam menace?" Basically make him funny like Buzz Lightyear was. This is why Endgame worked for so many people, because they only showed like 10% of the film in the trailers and didn't reveal any surprises whatsoever, like Korg playing Fortnite. If Korg played Fortnite in the trailer for Endgame, I would not go see it, plain and simple. I'll just pretend the story ended with Infinity War. Why not? It's a happy ending. Look how happy Purple Guy is. In Prince of Egypt, they couldn't even be bothered to get get someone else to play God. They just got the guy who played Moses to do it. LMAO, what was that about? In this movie, God is played by Eddie Murphy. Talk about fitting casting. I legitimately cannot think of anyone else more qualified to play this role other than God himself. There's also a lot more going on with Jack Black's character in this version. Instead of a shark, he's a panda. Yeah, they really had no shame when they were making Kung Fu Panda, I know. Anyway, his backstory is a lot more fleshed out in this movie, which is a godsend compared to Kung Fu Panda, where they had to wait until the second one to give him a compelling backstory because they forgot the first time. They even managed to get the rights to certain Disney characters like Timon and Pumbaa, and also Hades, who was invented by Disney for the 1997 film Hercules. I don't know how Zach managed to get the rights to these characters, and it probably explains why this movie had to come out on Disney Plus and not HBO Max. Ilya is boring and rude, and I couldn't care less about her, and these kids are kind of generic and whatever. Also, Melo is definitely Satan, so I don't really want to save him. I think he'll be fine on his own.
Actually, Satan!
That's uncalled for.
We miss Roy, but we like Ike, so it's fine. You're not really fun. Smash 4. Everyone goes in expecting Ike to get cut and Crom to replace him. Ike surprisingly returns, and everyone waits for Crom. Lol, nope.
My lord, go yourself.
And why is he the only member of this team that gets singled out? The purple guy isn't scary. He looks like a goofy-ass Muppet. I would laugh out loud if he attempted to scare me, but you don't see anyone calling him out for dragging the team down. Also, boo! The Abominable Snowman cameo sucks. Boo! Honestly, this is a worse retcon to me than the 4th grade line from the original film. You could have had the snowman in the movie, just have him interact with literally any other characters besides Mike and Sully. Why was that hard? Kirby is innocent in all this. He is to this movie what Babu Frick is to Rise of Skywalker. Man, f Chicken Little. All my homies hate Chicken Little. I just kinda assumed these crazy colors and fast-paced visual gags were just lost in translation from 2D to 3D. But Moana finally proved me wrong with a little song known as You're Welcome.
You're welcome. You're welcome for everything. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the GameCube dropped, circa 99, there were only 8 right out the gate. You could unlock 4. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting for more. We just wanted more. When Kojima asked for Snakin', that kicked down the door. And you kept on requesting these icons galore. Now look at you. Oh. Look at you. Insatiable you. All he needs to add is Gino now, Sora and Goku. And even when they're added, there's still more to do. Sakurai once thought Brawl would have ended them all.
Though I do think it's funny that the teacher is frustrated because his students are distracted by sparkly objects, then you collect them all and make a big sparkly object. That's not more distracting at all. Good job, Mario, you've ruined the education system. And the Mii's face, was it super generic?
Couldn't pick it out of a crowd if I tried.
Today is the worst. Okay, bye.
By the way, I'm counting this for one villainous scene. Okay, bye-bye.
Sparky, shut up!
Daddy almost said shut up.
No, Daddy almost said,
shut the fuck up. So it turns out Sparky hasn't taken a car wash in a week. I never knew he was such a gamer. And then he tries to claim that his dad forcing him to take a bath is child abuse?
Child abuse.
This movie is something else, let me tell you. I think that clip speaks for itself and requires no elaboration. Corrin's inclusion was clearly meant as a promotional tool for Fire Emblem Fates, which hadn't even come out in the West yet. That's why I find their inclusion particularly phony.
Hey everybody, this guy's a great big phone!
Should I go into details about the romance and what actually happens within the plotline? No, I don't think I will.
This is a man that knows how to marry his cousin.
Oh my god, shut up, Elroy. No. Let's just say that it all works out in the end, and I was very happy, and you should be too.
It just works.
How does kissing a frogman even turn her into a frog? Did Dr. Facilier really take the time to program this into the curse he put on Naveen? Did he expect Naveen to kiss someone? Did he really think to himself, oh man, it would be so hilarious if some lady tried kissing this frog and then got turned into a frog herself, even though the plan was to keep him locked up forever, so that wouldn't even be a possibility. It is truly epic. But not quite as epic as Boss Baby! I'm sorry. I can now officially confirm that Boss Baby deserved the Oscar in 2017. But the Academy could rectify their mistake by giving the 2021 Oscar for Best Picture to the Boss Baby 2, Family Business. I will not sleep until this injustice is corrected. I never once questioned why I was doing the things I was doing during these first 3 dungeons and all the in-between stuff, because I had to save Zelda, my beloved! The person I grew up with, the person I actually got to spend time with as the player, the person who went up to that potion vendor at the bazaar and said, "Excuse me, he asked for no pickles." Matt Damon is an incredible villain. It feels so good to get someone who isn't a twist villain for once and who could just be evil throughout the whole thing. But he's so layered as well, not just evil for the sake of it. He assumes that everything he's doing is totes God's will, and he has this incredible musical number where he tries to come to terms with what he's doing. It's like this back and forth between him and God, and it's incredible. He and Eddie Murphy just knocked this song out of the park. Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to mention that as well. It's a musical now, and the songs make the 4-hour runtime feel like an absolute breeze. I am furious that DreamWorks cut these songs out. They are so good. My favorite ones are probably the 7-minute ballad Jack Black has about why a cat is not a dog, as well as the song sung by the giant turtle from Majora's Mask. First of all, I can't believe Zack Snyder got the rights for him from Nintendo. That's insanely impressive. Second, I love this identity crisis he has about how he wants to be a crab so desperately, even though he's obviously a turtle. It's a really touching, emotional ballad. Oh, and the song Martin Scorsese sings about how to evade taxes is perfection. It made me love Sykes as a character even more than I already did. Now, take a wild guess what character would improve the killer grips immensely. That's right, Ezekiel, obviously. Ha, just kidding. You just got pranked. Nice going, idiot. You fell for it. After this incident, Bojack finally calls Diane in order to escape this new life in Michigan that he escaped to in order to escape from LA. Not to be confused with Escape from LA, the season 2 episode in which he escaped from LA by escaping to New Mexico. This is a different escape to a different place, because it's a different episode of a different season.
Get on with it.
So yeah, he calls Diane.
It's a tie.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in Schaffrillas ranking history, we have a 2-way tie. What? Brave and the Good Dinosaur are pretty much equally awful, and I cannot for the life of me determine which one is less awful. They both have advantages and disadvantages that even each other out. For example, Brave has a story. You know, that's something you can't really say about Good Dinosaur. But on the other hand, Good Dinosaur doesn't have a completely unlikable, obnoxious twat for a main protagonist.
But that's not saying much.
It really didn't hit me emotionally at all. And then they cut Everything I Know, which is the song right after Alabanza, where Nina's singing about how much Abuela Claudia, meant to her and everything. And just... But we'll get to her. We will get to her. So yeah.
Could I interest you in everyone? Everyone's here. Go play as everyone. Everyone's here. Waluigi's not though, so there's still more work I fear. But for now it's everyone. Everyone's here. Could I interest you in everyone? Everyone's here. Go on and play as everyone. Everyone's here. Waluigi's not though, so there's still more work I fear. Anyone and everyone and anyone and everyone and anyone and everyone and everyone's here.
They were revealed in the same direct as Bayonetta, who distracted everyone at first by being a pretty cool addition, and then by being the bane of the game's existence when she was actually released. So yeah, everyone just kinda held their breath and hoped Corrin would be cut in the next game, myself included. Well, now here's something wild.
The wild? Whoa!
Chrom, the 7th Fire Emblem character, got revealed and nobody really complained. Except Kotaku, so let me rephrase that. No one of value really complained. Cody manages to get away with not singing yet again, that son of a bitch. But I guess Tyler got away with it too, so that's fair. But wait, Tyler had to strip the dude. What did Cody do? What has Cody contributed to this team? Nothing. I hope you die, Cody. Everyone's gonna think I have some huge vendetta against Cody. I really don't. I just find it so hilarious that he manages to get away with not singing in so many episodes. Heidi ho, mammals! So, Patrick and I, hi, we're trying to come up with a new collab topic after making that Lego Star Wars video last year. And then we thought, why not just do more Star Wars? I fucking love Star Wars! You know, most of the time. Actually, not even most, just some of the time.
Welcome to the lair of the 2/3 highest ranked Goth Patty members in the entire universe, aka the House of Shelby minus Matt because he's working on a video. How can I help you?
Okay, so you're both ranked 3rd? Can you please explain how that works?
Listen, either I explain how that works or you explain why Tamatoa looks super cool visually. We do not have time for both, unfortunately.
Damn, I gotta explain what's great about the visuals of Shiny? Oh, I just don't think I could. Okay. First and foremost, this Mad Lad Crab and his fab face. Hey, wait, before I continue, do you actually have a heart piece right now?
Of course I have a heart piece. Why?
Just wanted to make sure so I don't spend 10 minutes talking about Tamatoa for no reason. So, Home on the Range is a lot like Home in the sense that they're both not good, but also not nearly as bad as I was expecting. Also, they both have Home in the title. I don't know if you noticed that, but they do. There's one part where Gargamel is drowning and 2 of the Smurfs really want to save him even though he's the mortal enemy of all Smurf kinds. But they save him anyway and then he betrays them. Wow, I can't believe it. The whole point of this mission was to warn this other village of Smurfs that Gargamel was coming. Why not just let him drown? Then later they find out Gargamel went the wrong way and he's trapped in the evil swamp where he'll probably die. And then they send scouts to go look for him and he follows the scouts to the village of Smurfs. And it really just feels like you guys are causing all the problems here. Just leave Gargamel to his own devices and you'll all be perfectly safe. But then there's the princess. That's her official name because Disney apparently copyrighted Jasmine. Damn. Good thing Aladdin and Jafar are just regular Middle Eastern names. Can't copyright those, fuckers. I mean, they made a flat version of Old Man Jenkins for when he gets crushed by a boulder. Now that's a spicy good set piece.
A slave turned war hero turned political pawn against their surrogate family due to the resentment built up thanks to the death of their original family is a compelling story brought to life with some of the most sterile and stilted acting, directing, and dialogue ever. That's what happens when you try to do everything yourself, George. If only we had a team of talented Star Wars fans who could reinterpret and develop the story of Anakin's gradual fall to the dark side over a longer span than just 3 loosely connected movies.
Ha! What are you talking about, idiot? That already exists. It's called the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars is the best wars to ever happen in the star.
Corrin was the step too far. The inclusion that truly sparked the idea that Fire Emblem was overrepresented. What the fuck? Well, Kingdom Hearts 1 was good, much like Shrek. Kingdom Hearts 2 was a phenomenal follow-up, much like Shrek 2. Oh. Okay, that's a bit harsh.
Fuck you! And your eyebrows!
I'm the Wampa. I'm the snowman. Okay, so a lot of people seem to have a problem with the CG they added in the Wampa scene, and I have to agree. It does not look at all convincing. I mean, that's not even Luke Starkiller anymore. That's just Purple Guy. The Wampa looks like he was made for the Toy Story movie. This is bullshit. Melty Molten Galaxy, Lava Spire Daredevil Run. The single most evil mission in the entire game. As a kid, when I saw that Daredevil comment over Melty Molten, I assumed, as any normal person would, it was for Fiery Dino Piranha. Lol, nope. Here, do this entire mission without getting hit once. The sheer brutality of this task is enough to shoot it far above the Speedy Comets, even though this mission is also an instance of repeating the same star over again. Still, it's not the same. Not by a long shot. It's a psychological torture simulation where you have to keep your cool and keep your head the whole way through since you know there's no checkpoints. utterly maniacal, but I'm honestly glad such an insane challenge exists in this game. Hello folks, it is I, Good Soulman, here with some breaking news! You see these satellites behind me? Well, hackers are using them to steal your private data and all your photos! You belong on TV, because the internet is clearly not safe to browse with all these hackers swarming around. Unless, of course, you protect yourself online using Surfshark VPN! That's right, Surfshark VPN! What is Surfshark VPN? Well, I'm glad you asked, because Surfshark VPN is this. Shortly after Revenge of the Sith came out, George Lucas was like, we better make a, animated, TV show about the, Clone Wars era. You know, it's stylistically designed to be animated, and we can't undo that, but we can diminish the effects of it. I think what I'm trying to say is that Corrin is the reason we don't have world peace. He is a scourge upon humanity that must be purged from video games immediately in order for our society to function. Fire Emblem is not the enemy here, people. Corrin is and will always be our true enemy. I guess they poured all that depth and character progression into one place. They probably just made a single nuanced, believable, and amazing character that changed the course of human history and made the world into a paradise with all its problems solved. But whom's could that be? Is there a single character in existence that's that amazing? Bitch, you already know. Don't play coy with me. Let's talk about I'm gonna put the actual song. Bruce single-handedly watered my crops, snatched my wig, ended world hunger, redistributed the billionaire's wealth, and revived the Owl House for an extended season 3. He is the reason I get up in the morning and the definitive proof that God exists. Checkmate, atheists. I don't know how Brad Bird does it, but there's no adult-oriented Pixar films before he joins the studio, and after he joins, there's 2. Coincidence? I think not! Also, isn't it wild that this is kind of a spy movie, and Cars 2 is attempting to be that? It's interesting, like, Pixar can only make the worst spy movie of all time, or the best spy movie of all time. There's literally no in-between whatsoever. Huh. Weird.
And guess what happens as a result? Yep, you guessed it. Diesel sets Norbert aflame and just flat out murders the poor gas pump. The funny part is literally nobody cares that the only gas pump at this gas station is now dead and killed by the antagonist of the film. Like, how do you not react to somebody dying next to you? Oh, don't even get me started on the fact that Norbert is revived a couple of minutes later in the film by a gunshot. Take a listen to the noise. It's a gunshot. It really cannot be anything else.
Sparky?
Granted, a car in this universe can't really hold a gun, I think, but they can hold other stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me if Sparky's dad just shot Norbert and revived him. Why not?
Hey, Disney released a movie on Disney Plus called Raya and the Last Dragon. Did you know that? Of course you didn't, because they barely advertised it from what I saw, and they've released it on the same day as the WandaVision finale, which is why no one's talking about it. Thank you so much, Disney. I love how you do that to your original projects. But I mean, it could be worse. At least they didn't charge $30 for it for premiere access like they did with Mulan. Oh wait, silly me, that's exactly what they did. I actually don't think they want anyone to see this movie. They really couldn't have waited a week to release it so it would be the only thing coming out. They couldn't have just not charged $30 for it, considering they gave us Soul for free. Whatever, I watched the movie and it's fine. The moral of the story is that Fire Emblem is one of Nintendo's best franchises, and I'm so tired of people saying they refuse to give it a chance because of its oversaturation in Smash. That is not Fire Emblem's fault. Three Houses is one of the best games on the Switch. Awakening is one of the best games on the 3DS. Fates and the original with Marth looks really good, and I'm excited to play it until March 31st, 2021 when it goes back in the Nintendo Vault. Fuck you for that. Probably because there's plenty of time to flesh them out and see them living life, coping with their insecurities and struggles and baggage and—
Insert that one line from Shrek that James uses in all his videos here.
Tierzu, you're also part of Goth Patty?
You do realize that one of the T's in Goth Patty stands for tier.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He was a big Star Wars fan and especially a massive fan of Plo Koon. You know, Plo Koon, that guy. He got died in Revenge of the Sick movie. The final fun fact about Dave Filoni is that his cowboy hat is the source of his power, and that's why he never takes it off. You see this shot of him playing this X-Wing pilot in The Mandalorian? I have it on good authority that he was wearing his cowboy hat underneath the helmet. You have to trust me, guys. I have insider info. My uncle is Disney, so there. Okay, so in our notes for the next episode, we literally put Ruthie. Holy shit. I think that summarizes this episode pretty well. See, an alternate title for this episode could be Princess Carolyn and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, because that's what this is. Side note, I have no idea why the MCU seems to bend over backwards in order to not cast Aaron Taylor Johnson as Quicksilver again. Like, there were so many opportunities for him to appear in a flashback, and he just never does. What did the man do to piss off the mouse and never get hired again? I kind of feel really bad for him. For some reason, Inside Out is the Pixar movie that seems to have the most bad faith criticism attached to it. Like, there's people who revel in the idea that this movie is bad because, well, actually, Joy is the villain of the movie because she's too controlling and restrictive of the other emotions, and that's a bad thing. Well, no shit, that's a bad thing. The entire point of the movie is that Joy realizes she was wrong by acting that way, and by the end of the movie, she lets the other emotions take charge when necessary. She's a flawed individual who goes through a strong, tangible character arc, but I guess that makes her a villain to you people. Wow, I guess Woody's the villain in Toy Story 1 then, right? He's an asshole who drives the conflict and knocks Buzz out the window, so I guess he's evil. Never mind the entire second half of the movie where he realizes he was wrong and grows to befriend Buzz. Nope, that doesn't happen. Marlin never grew out of his antagonistic, overprotective father phase. Mr. Incredible never learned to appreciate his family above his work. Lightning McQueen never befriended a single person. Not one. They are the villains of their stories, cause that's how it works. Will this give kids nightmares? Oh, absolutely. But it wasn't made for them, damn it. It was made for real fans who always believed that Shark Tale was good before the studio butchered it. I admit, I was a doubting Thomas for so many years, but now I have seen the light and been baptized into the church of Zack Snyder's Shark Tale. I only wish we got the planned sequel where Oscar was supposed to go mad with power and defy God, becoming the leader of the Jewish people only for Jack Black Panda to have to fight his former friend. It would have been so emotional and powerful, but alas, it wasn't meant to be. Even so, Zack Snyder's Shark Tale is more than enough. It's a powerful, emotionally resonant fable that will live on as the most prolific myth of our generation. It's an absolutely transcendent experience, and I'm glad DreamWorks has announced plans to phase the original Shark Tale out of circulation in favor of this one. Now that's what I like to see happening to media. Anyway, definitely check this one out. I know it's $30, and Disney Plus also released the Joss Whedon cut of Toy Story 3 on the same day for free, but don't be tempted to watch that. Watch this instead. It's so much better, you have no idea. I'm giving Zack Snyder's Shark Tale a 10 out of 10. Thank you for this masterpiece, you beautiful man, you.
We've made it to the halfway point, fam. 7 pages in. You know, we were originally going to do seasons 1, 2, and 3 in this video, but it looks like this is another BoJack situation. Fortunately, unlike William, I don't have a job other than editing these videos, so hopefully they'll come out sooner than the BoJack ones. Hooray! Unemployment!
However, we must discuss the fact that they are trying to lure you in with their comedy. And then, when the moment is right, they whip it out. Their songs. Let's talk about said songs, and the fact that a dick is on the way when they sing them. Well, to be fair, a song doesn't always mean a dick is on the way. Sometimes it's just a prelude to a sponsor. Also, by sheer coincidence, I think I feel a song coming on. You want to make a website. You're screwed, or so it would seem. That's why I came up with this brilliant scheme. Just use Squarespace.
You certainly know your Tamatoa stuff. Have a heart piece.
Yay! Am I too late? Can I... Wait, Illymation, you're a part of Goth Patty too?
Oh, I'm not just a mere part. I'm the 3rd highest ranked member.
Whoa, shocker. He learned all that from his idol in a really compelling way. Oh, I'm sorry. What idol? Big Z? Never heard of him. Apparently this whole time, contrary to everything the first film tells you, Cody was never inspired to be an amazing surfer like Big Z. He was inspired by Penguin John Cena and his legion of super friends. In this commercial, Big Z might as well have never existed, and Cody's entire backstory and motivation as a character is thrown in the garbage. I have never seen a more perfect example of character assassination in my life. The writers of Game of Thrones could probably watch this commercial and say to themselves, well, at least we didn't f*** up that badly. Julianne Moore is bland. It gives absolutely none of the same raw emotion Rachel Bay Jones did in her Tony-winning performance as Heidi, the f***ing heart of the original musical. If it was so important to make this movie and preserve Ben Platt's Tony-winning performance as Evan Hansen, why was the same courtesy not extended to Rachel Bay Jones and her Tony-winning performance as Evan's mother? I'll tell you why. Because no character other than Evan matters in this fucking movie. Heidi is barely in this film and most of her songs are cut because she doesn't matter because her name is not Evan Hansen. The director has gone on record stating that the film's main goal was to capture and immortalize Platt's performance. This movie was made in order to get the mental image of a 27-year-old man poorly masquerading as a teenager into all of our brains for the rest of time. In order to really sell us on Ben Platt's godlike performance, they cut the opening number with Heidi and Cynthia, and then they cut Good For You, the song where Heidi and Evan's friends actually call him out on his bullshit. Because, God forbid, we call out the godlike performer that is Ben Platt! I'm sorry, you're right! If you're going to cut out the most important musical number plot-wise, the one that acknowledges that Evan Hansen is a bad person, then you're basically absolving him of his heinous actions. But what do you expect from a Ben Platt vanity project? A film that only exists because this performance is too good to be stuck in the filthy musical version. It needs a big budget Hollywood release. The world needs to see how beautiful and amazing Mark Platt's son is.
Brother Bear, I let you down. I let you down, man. I let you down.
Alright, is there anything else to talk about? It's pretty. I actually do kind of like the moose. The main character is voiced by Joaquin Phoenix, so literally all I hear is the Joker's voice coming out of this man bear.
Nana, you won't believe this. I was at the top of this huge rock, and all of a sudden It's the police, ma'am. Your son's been hit by a drunk driver. He's dead.
So that's fun. I don't know, let's move on now.
I be Papscroft.
I know! Tell them that!
I be Papscroft. And I only really wanted to do a part in this video to say that.
I've never really talked about it before, but I really like Ratatouille. That was a joke, actually. I have talked about it for a long time before. Maybe you'll like it more than I did. Maybe I would like it more if it didn't have the most annoying character in a Disney movie since, I don't know, every character in Chicken Little. Anyway, I'm giving it a big ol' 6 out of 10. Disney, just give the people what they really want and make a spinoff about that shrimp boy. He is the GOAT. I just hope he doesn't run into any sharks while he's out there in his little fishing boat. However, there is one shark that you do want to run into, especially when surfing the web. It's called Surfshark VPN. Mr. Krabs and Plankton swear at each other using dolphin noises. You know, the same ones I use when I say stuff like fucking top knocker. Bucha is... yeah. This flying robot that simps for Fi is always super funny. Especially when he acts like a little bitch and forces you to do an escort mission up the mountain, which doesn't even make sense because you should have landed towards the top of the mountain anyway. So that's funny. Thank you, game. You definitely didn't waste enough of my time already. Oh, sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh, Mario, did you do it? No, Luigi, I can't now. It's got to be you. No way, Mario. Look, Luigi, you got a 20-minute lead. They got me at the gates of hell and they're going to kill me. Do it now. Oh, mamma mia. All right, Mario, just what the hell was that shenanigan you just pulled? You might want to hold off. Yeah? Why? Because your boss, Doug Bowser, is going to need a cash cow once we get rid of your other one. Knights Academy, Skyloft, Apartment 6. Yeah. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. I help you? Aww. Oh no. Whoa! Take whatever you want. I have rupees. I have a lot of rupees. Just... you... please don't do this. You don't have to do this. Oh. Oh. Mario. There's a lot to dissect with this episode, but I almost dreaded doing so because it's just really heartbreaking and cruel. I mean, intentionally so, the writers did a great job with it. But the fact that Bojack, who we last saw getting roasted by Todd and told that he needs to be better, decided to get his vulnerable, newly sober friend back on drugs and brag about his horrible actions at an AA meeting is just really sick and twisted. But that's Bojack for you. The fact that the brand of heroin that kills Sarah Lynn is the one named after Bojack? Yeah, it checks out. In the next episode, Bojack describes the atmosphere at the funeral and how everyone stood there thinking, well, this was bound to happen, even though it wasn't. Counterpoint, yes, it was. As long as she was around Bojack, the guy who first sent her on a downward spiral by coming to her not as a friend, but as someone who wanted a favor, she was always destined to end up like this. The fact that she was barely in this season prior to this episode, barely in Bojack's life throughout these 9 months of sobriety, just illustrates this point even further. Bojack is toxic, and he needs to realize that and improve before he drags more people down with him. And yeah, Sarah Lynn's last words about wanting to be an architect, a callback to something she said as a kid in a season 1 flashback. Yeah, that one really hurts, Chief. Also, Bojack and Mr. Peanut Butter have to retrieve the doll after Bojack pulls one of his classic shitty person shenanigans and tosses it over the balcony. Turns out it landed in the backyard of insert real-life criminal's name here. This show is honestly the only thing I've ever known Felicity Huffman from until that thing she did in real life. I find that kind of funny. Oh, and the cotton candy Bojack vomited landed in her backyard. See? Season 1 did matter. No, you can't just skip it.
Fun fact, when we first started writing the outline for these videos, we posted a picture of James typing out in the editor server, and the way they figured out it was the Bojack retrospective was because we mentioned Felicity Huffman, and that was enough of a connection for them to figure it out. Felicity Huffman. Not the fact that the words Bojack video were in the corner of the screen, they didn't notice that till later. Felicity is the key to all of this. Never mind.
At first, it seems like Justin is a pretty naughty boy during season 2. He gets Gwen eliminated, he seems to be manipulating Beth into an alliance. Uh-oh, watch out y'all, we've got a little stinker on our hands. But then he like cracks his nail or something and everyone considers him ugly now, and then he just whines for the rest of the season. That's what they do with Justin. I think I liked him better when he never said anything, to be honest. As for the characters, Tiana, Naveen, Facilier, Lewis, and Mama Odie are all great. Charlotte and her John Goodman daddy were okay, but as a white person, I legit kind of felt patronized by their existence. Like, Disney didn't think I'd get invested in the story unless there were nice white people in it. Lawrence was dummy thick, so he gets a pass, and Ray can go die. Oh wait, he did. Awesome.
So Dave Filoni, George Lucas, and the rest of the team whose names I do not know were developing the show, and it was coming together well. Then one day, George Lucas took a look at the nearly completed first few episodes of the series and said, why don't we take these episodes and put them in theaters as a big movie? And the team was like, oh. They didn't sign up for a movie. They thought this was gonna be just for TV. This isn't cinema quality animation, but George just couldn't help going too far in a few places as usual. And thus, Star the Clone Wars was born.
Gender has nothing to do with this movie.
What the fuck are you talking about? There are plenty of stories where the main character's gender doesn't matter, but a story about a princess who's worried about getting married and losing her independence in a medieval kingdom is absolutely a gendered story, you dipshit. Whatever, this movie blows. Everything I said in my best animated feature ranking video still holds up. Merida is still the worst Disney princess and Pixar protagonist. The bear twist is still the dumbest shit imaginable. There's no intrigue, there's no good humor, there's no compelling storytelling. It's as bad as I remember. The whole time I rewatched this movie, I just wished I was watching How to Train Your Dragon instead. In fact, yeah, I'll probably just do that the next time I do a Pixar marathon. And I should also replace Cars 2 with something better as well. A movie that's better than Cars 2. Well, Rise of Skywalker it is.
So shut the fuck up, idiot!
Shut up! You don't tell me shut up, I tell you shut up!
I could tell 5 minutes into this ad that it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. But the thing that really solidified it was later in the movie, when they're sailing over lava and Cody goes out of his way to try and sabotage Tank. Which, in case you've seen the first movie, which these writers clearly did not, is the thing that Tank does to other surfers because he is the villain. But let's have our protagonist do the same thing in a much more dangerous scenario in the second installment after he's already learned a lesson in the first installment. And that valuable lesson he learned in the first movie was not, don't attempt to murder people in order to win a competition. Because that's something he already f***ing knows! I'm not really gonna talk about it because, like, that's not really a musical I want to analyze on the internet because of its subject matter. I feel like I'm kind of missing the point if I do that.
You're welcome.
Wow, I'm gonna get so many likes now. I like how with the non-Toy Story Pixar sequels, there's no real consensus regarding which one is best. Some people like Cars 3 or Incredibles 2 best, some are loyal to Monsters University, and you know there's at least one sick, depraved individual out there who genuinely thinks Cars 2 is the best Pixar sequel. Please, keep it to yourself. There's also this story arc towards the end of season 4 that I really enjoyed, where Mike supervises an extended sleepover with a bunch of Germans building the famous Gus Fring meth lab we see in Breaking Bad. He finds a kindred spirit with this Werner guy, who eventually leaves the sleepover early in order to see his wife, even though that's against the rules. If you leave Gus Fring's sleepover early, it is punishable by death. Oh, but guess what stays the exact same? The misunderstanding that Shrek has where he thinks he overhears Fiona and Donkey talking about him. The one part of the original movie's story I don't like. The one thing they could have perhaps fixed in this adaptation. Nope, too much work. Let's just leave that the exact same. F it. Let's go, gentlemen, to the opium den. I don't know why I added that. So again, at the very end of the show, after that song that gets me every time.
I wish you every happiness. It is done.
Hits you right in the feels, doesn't it? It's true! Basically, in this musical, a giant volcano is gonna erupt and kill everyone unless SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy can stop it using Sandy's invention, the Eruptor Interrupter. Do you get what she did there? She did like a thing.
The ingenious bubble device.
Don't touch.
The Republic agrees because if they help Jabba, he will give them access to his private space trade lanes. Basically, this entire movie is the Republic and the Separatists fighting over who gets to use the Easy Pass lane.
And with those musicals come some amazing villain songs. Poor Unfortunate Souls, Be Prepared, Gaston, whatever song was in Pocahontas, I forget.
How bad can I be?
Oh boy, it's time for a song.
And now it's time.
Good thing Squarespace is the sponsor this time. That means I can make another addition to the Untitled Squarespace album that consists of all of my various transition songs that I've done over the years. And in the spirit of Total Drama World Tour, I'm just gonna pick one of their songs and completely improv new lyrics for it. Just a warning, this is gonna be extremely off-key and terrible, but I'm sure you expected that by now. Okay, here we go. You wanna build websites, it's Squarespace time at last. You should go get Squarespace, it's pretty awesome, yes. Oh yeah! They got all kinds of templates, so what you waiting on? Go and build a website with Squarespace till the break of dawn. That was my epic song. Sorry that it was terrible. Here's the Squarespace ad now. Maybe Tamatoa isn't all he's cracked up to be. Maybe he's just a vicious monster that deserved to be stopped. Maybe I was wrong to idolize him all these years. What do you think?
Honestly, I'm just a little concerned that you put so much thought into this. Like, I'm part of a Tamatoa themed group, and even I think this is overkill. Why do you care so much?
Because Tamatoa is my life, man. Without Tamatoa, I am nothing.
Alright. Well, yo, here's your heart piece, man.
Oh god, thank you. I'm going home now. So the robot picks it up and takes it to the volcano at the top of the mountain. Oh, Oh wait, I'm sorry. He brings it to the bottom of the mountain in a scene that 10 years later I still can't make any sense of. It is less work for this robot to take the water to the place that is elevated. Why would he take it to the bottom of the mountain and then force us to do a stupid, pointless escort mission up the mountain that we have already climbed many times before? Oh no, he can't take the basin back to the sky and then land at the volcano. Oh, it's too heavy. Ooh woo. Tough shit. He works for us. In fact, he literally does all this because he simps for Fi. Couldn't she just send him feet pics? I don't know. That would probably motivate him to let us skip this escort mission. Come on, Fi. We don't have time for this. Zelda's life is on the line here. Just show the robot your feet. Why did I write this? Then they turn the main character into the titular brother bear, and the movie takes a fucking nosedive into a mountain. All of a sudden, it's a trashy baby film with terrible jokes and annoying characters, and I hate it. It's so annoying, it's so bad. They had something good here, and they just mangle it. So now the two don't start dating until Only Us. But they don't change the lyrics of the song, so Zoe still sings as if they're already dating. What? The song makes no sense now. What are you talking about? Bro, it's so dumb that this worked at all. If I was playing Metal Gear and I hid in a cardboard box right in front of marching enemies, they would check what's in the mysterious box they just walked into. But I guess battle droids are really stupid, so okay.
Yeah, Jedi cut them down like they're butter. And they really are pretty useless.
And then, oopsie poopsie, they ran into a droidica.
And then a super soaker complains instead of doing what her master says.
Run!
What? Jedi don't run!
Master, destroy us!
Hey, I figured out why Ahsoka is so terrible. She's just like Anakin.
Ahsoka, a very wise Jedi.
No, not him.
I'm taking
Now! No, Anakin, no! No!
That's the one. While this movie takes great strides in making Anakin a better character than he was in the prequels, it then turns around and gives us the female reboot of prequel Anakin. Have fun, dick nips!
Again, we must stress that Ahsoka develops into an amazing character over the course of the series.
But we're not in the series, are we?
No. Oh well, at least they didn't give up on her despite her shoddy introduction and poor initial reception. Unlike a certain other female character, am I right, Disney? Surf's Up 2 makes Cars 2 look like The Empire Strikes Back, and it makes Earwig and the Witch look like Citizen Kane. Dear Evan Hansen? More like, dear God, it's so much better than this piece of fucking ass. I have not hated a product this much since Artemis Fowl, which, if you remember, is my actual least favorite movie of all time. This train wreck literally only exists so Sony could suck off these WWE stars while destroying everything the original Surf's Up had going for it. It has absolutely nothing to offer and should not be watched by anyone, regardless of if they like the original film or not. Vince McMahon fantasizes about drinking milk directly from a fish's udder. Yep!
As for the next episode, BoJack stars on Booty Academy.
I guess BoJack went from horsing around to assing around.
How does it feel to be the subject of ridicule for once?
Yeah, it would feel pretty bad. That is, if I wasn't the one in control of the laugh tracks. Alright, that's it for me. You guys have been great. Tip your waitress. Try the veal.
Aside from that, a lot of these visuals are just typical Phantom Thief shenanigans that don't have much to do with dancing, like when Joker rescues Morgana from a train. First of all, Joker buddy, you shoulda let the train run him over. That was your mistake.
Dooku has tricked Jabba into thinking that it is the Jedi who are the kidnappers of Jabba's son, thanks to Anakin just having to be racist.
I hate huts.
But then Padme overhears Zero and Dooku explain their evil plan in excruciating detail. It's really an amazing twist, considering we've only known Zero as a character for 5 minutes. Hey James.
What?
I guess this makes Zero a twist villain!
It's good visually, but you know what we had the year before? Hey everyone, I'm back from my year of not watching any kids cartoons. I think I was just feeling burnt out on a lot of them because I was tired of all these overarching plot lines and lore that were stretched out between tons of filler episodes. Once Steven Universe Future ended, I figured a break was in order till something really special came along, like the next Avatar or Gravity Falls. And I think I finally found it. Infinity Train.
Hey James, there's this totally fun new character
character-driven, lore-filled cartoon on Disney Channel. It's called The Owl House. Watch The Owl House. It's just one season, so it's not that big a time sink. Hoot hoot.
I should have just watched the British dub that apparently exists that features Olivia Colman, Tom Holland, and Saoirse Ronan. God damn, I really missed out. Oh well, the American dub has Will Arnett, so that's pretty good.
What's up, bitches? This episode is the proper introduction of the horse girl we saw at the end of season 3. Hollyhock, insert name here.
No, you gotta say her full name.
Okay. Hollyhock, Mannheim, Guru, Turbo Robinson, Free 58 over 2, Zilla Schlag, Moffra King Ghidorah, Hussein Fonzarelli, Final Chapter Prologue, McQuack, All Out Attack Arcade Edition.
Came out of nowhere, lightning fast. She has 8 dads. It makes sense in context. He's making them better fighters, as evidenced by the best ending where they beat the shit out of the Predators completely unprovoked. And I guess also evidenced by Smash, since they can latch on to Sephiroth and fucking murder him. Side note, this isn't even in the script. Can we just talk about the fact that Olimar can fight Sephiroth? Like I said, he's basically just an Amazon delivery guy. And then we have fucking Sephiroth. What even is Smash at this point?
Hey man, you good? No. Awesome.
Okay, now for the sponsor portion. Come on, Shafe, you can do this. It's the easiest transition in the world. Squarespace is where you make websites. This movie is about the internet and websites and technology. You can do this. You can make this transition so clever and smooth. I'm just kidding, I can't do this. Here's an ad for Squarespace. Bye forever! Squarespace. Surprisingly not all that tedious or drawn out. It's actually pretty relaxing and enjoyable to collect all these coins. At least until the spring mushroom gets involved, and then it becomes kind of terrible. Seriously, who invited that kid? We had some fun times with him, and above all, thank God he wasn't in All-Stars, because that was the worst season of all time, and I'm never watching it again, so don't ask me to review it or do a retrospective of the entire series, because I'm never watching that stupid-ass season that was so horrible ever again. Thank you, bye! Okay, William, how do we end this part?
I got it. Here, hold this. Bye, bitch.
Huh? What is it? Why is it on fire? Wait, what the fuck? Haha, I came back as a ghost! Fuck you, William! Man, coming back as a ghost is such a valuable skill. But it's not good sponsored transition material. You know what is? Being a dentist and a clown at the same time. Now that's impressive. Want to know how you can become skilled enough to take on multiple jobs like that? Through Skillshare.
How the f did he get in here?
Good fucking job. Good fucking job indeed.
What have you done?
Oh, hey James, I just got this mini that plays ukulele when you clap your hands. You know, the manufacturers did a pretty good fucking job. Pretty good fucking job indeed.
Every new character introduced in this third movie is just completely gone in the fourth one, including the bear's new girlfriend and the deer's kids. Even Shrek Forever After kept the kids. Sony really just shat this out and then abandoned it in the woods, and you should do that too. Go take your copy of Open Season 3 and chuck it into the woods somewhere. I'm kidding, obviously. That's littering and you shouldn't do that. What you should do is purchase a steamroller and run over your copy of Open... But yeah, watch In the Heights and also watch Inside by Bo Burnham. I'll probably talk about it more when I talk about my top 10 favorite movies of 2021. Which I hope In the Heights gets on there. It might not. I don't know. This year seems like it's going to be really good for movies. So there's going to be some steep competition. But yeah, overall, it's very good though. Would recommend. And also, I really hope there were no sharks in that pool, because then they would have to surf away, because Surfshark VPN. This is so much worse when I have to do this on camera. Hey, Surfshark VPN, let's go hear about that right now. Actually, before we get to that, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Squarespace. What? Oh, I'm sorry, are you not impressed with my transition this time because I didn't link it to the topic of the video? You try coming up with 24 different unique sponsorship transitions. It was either let's hear a word from our sponsor, or guy in a coma has visions of all the different websites he could be making with Squarespace if he wasn't in a coma right now. Anyway, yes, Squarespace is pretty cool. Let's talk about them now. Luigi is my soulmate. Good Egg Galaxy, Luigi on the Roof. Video games, as a medium, have not concocted a more perfectly concise platforming challenge than this. You can see your goal from the starting screen of the mission. All it takes is one perfectly timed triple jump, and the mission is over. If you mess it up, you feel like absolute garbage. If you're a true degenerate, you take the orange pipe. but when you get the satisfaction of clearing that triple jump and landing on the roof on the first try, it's pure euphoria. Nothing quite like it in this entire game. I can't fully tell if this was a brilliant or lazy decision to put Luigi in such an obvious spot, but I'm leaning towards brilliant the more I think about it. This is one of my absolute favorite stars to collect in the game, and can you really blame me for thinking that way?
Oh, by the way, you're trapped right now because your feet are stuck on sticky paper that is in fact not regular paper used for writing and printing, but is in fact paper that is not a prop and indeed a trap. Oof.
There's a song that's sung by a character in the film, like a musical, like how Disney used to make, and the song is not terrible, so that was cool.
The animation is nowhere near the level of polish present in the actual show. Despite all of this, the animation is still somehow better than Rebels. Now we must leave before more Rebels stands arrive.
Hey, all this talk of Rebels reminds me. Let's talk about how bad the story is in this movie. I have no idea why you cut this iconic moment that was tailor-made for a musical adaptation of this story. What is wrong with you?
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
They're in the internet because we have to acknowledge products, and eBay is a major plot point. And also Google is here. Isn't that cool? I love Google so much. Amazon is here too. Wow, that's amazing. I can't even. Yes, thank you. Can you believe they got YouTube for this? I'm so happy about this. Oh, look at that. It's like Twitter because they got some Twitter rules. Do you want to buy products now? Do you want to buy these now? Oh my Disney. Oh my god, that's so cool. We're at the Disney World place. Wow, Buzz Lightyear to infinity and beyond. Wow, it's Baymax. That's nice. Whoa, it's Star Wars. I fucking love Star Wars. Baby Groot. He likes to say I am Groot, and that's like his catchphrase. Is that Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. All the Disney princesses are here, and that's epic. Merida from the hit 2012 feature film Brave is here too.
You still haven't figured it out? You really thought a guy like him couldn't get to a guy like you? He's been biding his time in the abyss, but soon, very soon, he will rise, and you can't touch him. Oh no.
Are you not entertained?
The governor of the ocean. Here he is!
Oscar the Shark Slayer!
Hello, master.
You had me at hello!
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Where'd he go? Just look above you.
I'm stuck on this paper.
Oh, right. Here, check it out on my phone.
Attention everyone! This is the emergency alert broadcast system with some bad news. The Will Smith fish from Shark Tale has summoned a giant moon with the face of Martin Scorsese fish. This moon is projected to kill every land creature once it collides with the planet. So it looks like our time on Earth is over. I would say it's been a pleasure, but I took an oath to never lie on air. It's about time this happened.
Till then, this has been Pappy G. Please check out my YouTube channel where I make a bunch of shit posts and AMVs and the like.
And this has been Schaffrillas Productions. May the force be...
But seriously, check out my YouTube channel. According to statistics, 0% of viewers are subscribed.
You know, the more I think about it, the more I realized Goro Miyazaki's career is like the plot of Chicken Little. Not just because it sucked overall, but because Goro made one little slip that turned everyone against him and embarrassed his father, redeemed himself with a big win that made everyone love him again, and then followed that up with the biggest, most horrendous f*** up in history, probably getting disowned by his father in the process. I actually feel really bad for him. Oh well, maybe he and his father can reconcile and beat all the aliens together in the final act, who knows. Yeah, you knew this one was coming. The old emperor sucks. It's some lady in makeup that they superimposed chimp eyes onto. The voice actor honestly sounds bored. We're supposed to believe this guy is above Darth Vader, but James Earl Jones is running circles around this guy's delivery, both in terms of intimidation and actual acting. I'd like to believe that if I saw this movie for the first time in 1980, without knowing anything about Ian McDiarmid's portrayal of the Emperor, I still wouldn't be impressed. I'm sorry, I know this weird off-brand f***ing Dr. Bob-ass version of Palpatine has its fans, but I'm not one of them. Speaking of which, oh look, the Imprisoned is back, but this time with arms. This fight is fine. It's fun to use the Gruesinator at least, and fighting him isn't too frustrating. There, we beat him again, and we finally did it. After all that, we go back in time to reunite with Zelda. We truly now have a link to the past. Yes, strike me down. Only your hatred can destroy me.
Yo, this is the Shark Slayer, right?
Yeah, who's this?
Yo, it's your loyal minion, Pappy G. I was just wondering, when do I get my subscribers? And also, why are you destroying so much of the world? I mean, I thought you wanted to rule it.
You got nothing! Nothing!
Wait, you're a villain who doesn't hold up their end of the bargain and you just lied to me?
Don't take it personally. Come on, I lied to everybody.
Do you know how long it took me to get those heart pieces? It took me... How long is this video?
An hour.
It took me 1 hour! It's not like there's any other extremely funny main characters. Can you think of any characters that are always there in most episodes, having nothing but a bunch of comedy to spout?
Nope, I got nothing.
Aren't you forgetting the funniest, most popular, bestest, everyone's favoriteest guy in the whole Boiling Isles? That's right, it's your faithful pal Hootie, reporting for duty. You're gonna talk about me, right? Hello? Is anyone still there, Hoot Hoot? This cosmic dance of bursting decadence and withheld permissions twists all our arms collectively. But if sweetness can win, and it can, then I'll still be here tomorrow to high-five you yesterday, my friend.
Okay, I can't keep the bit up any longer. Hootie is my favorite character in the entire show. He's so funny. I love it when characters are constantly ignored by the other characters, even though they're legitimately useful in the right circumstances. His voice cracks me up. It's like a combination of Gingy and Pinocchio. How the hell is Alex Hirsch so good at being a vocal chameleon? I will never understand it. Okay, bye. Thank you for this blessing of a character, you guys. Actually, never mind. One more thing for real this time. Punished Hootie. A house demon denied his respect. I mean, Hootie does such a great job of protecting the Owl House and all of its data. He's a lot like a VPN. And you know what's a great VPN? Hootie VPN. Wait, that's not real. Surfshark VPN. After dedicating almost an entire year of my life to making an 82-minute video about a Moana character, I figured it was high tide that I did it again. Or should I say, high time? Wait, shit, I messed that up. Even though Omni-Man is kind of an evil lunatic, I'm admittedly really jealous of his ability to just fly to a different country in a matter of minutes. I can't fly to other countries in a matter of minutes. How tragic. But I can make my internet think I'm in another country. How, you may ask? Well, that's simple. All you have to do is use Now the movie is focused on the joke side character, and the bear main character is now a side character, and the deer main character is still a main character, and you wish he was a side character, because he's somehow even less likable than he was in the first film where he wasn't even likable. What does his girlfriend see in him? Honestly, she's better off with a Patrick Warburton impersonator deer. Why is the Patrick Warburton impersonator asshole deer the one officiating this wedding? Why doesn't Bear do it? You can't seriously tell me this deer has a license to officiate a wedding. These are animals. They clearly don't need licenses to do this. Anyone could do it. Why is it the asshole deer that both the bride and groom hate?
Todd may hate fucking, but Diane and Mr. Peanut Butter hate fuck. Insert laugh track here. Goop, that's a cricket.
Yes.
Oh sure, everyone's a comedian.
I'm scrolling, finding this shit. Where the fuck is it? Oh, I'm actually mad. I actually hate these movies this much. This is, like, I'm not even scripted right now. I hate the, okay, here it is. Smurfs the Lost Village is, holy shit, please end my suffering. I don't want to watch these god-awful Smurf movies. This is torture.
Okay, guys. What is going on around here? Hey Chris, James is having an existential crisis because the giant crab he's worshipped for 5 years straight is apparently an asshole, and now Oscar from Shark Tale wants to destroy the world. Must be a Wednesday. Yep.
This was on track to be an amazing finale, and perhaps the best episode of the show, even topping the aforementioned Old Man Death by Marbles episode. But then, in a surprise twist, it turns out the old man is still alive and was secretly the host of the game the entire time. No, I'm just messing with you. That makes no sense and it would be really stupid. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me check my notes here. Yep, no, I was right the first time. That's exactly what happened. It was the old man. There's a good song and Spamton shows up. That's all the good stuff in this movie. That's it. It didn't have time for other good stuff like Felix or Calhoun or jokes that were actually funny because Ralph was too busy making an eye makeup tutorial. Oh, look at that. He's a screaming goat now. Flossing. Oh my god, I love flossing in Fortnite. Hey, look, there's Fortnite. Wow, he's gonna be some happy little goat now. That's what Bob Ross does. Oh my god, I love epic baking fail. Whoops, I can't believe I failed the baking so bad. Oopsies, is this good yet? Is this worth the fucking Academy Award for Best Animated Feature yet? 3 out of 10, it's the worst movie they made this decade by a landslide, and I don't want to think about it ever again. I'm sure I will, however.
I mean, why not? If Oscar can be the hero in his own movie and universe, why can't Tamatoa be the one in ours? I mean, it makes sense.
You mean like Tamatoa could be the hero if he was put in the right context for it? Like, Ron and John developed him as a villain, but as fans, we have the ability to expand the canon any way we want and reinterpret pre-established characters in our own derivative works and continuities, resulting in fan media that frames Oscar as a villain and Tamatoa as a hero?
That is literally what Chris just said, except wordier. Do you even proofread this shit? Why is the camera still in 480p?
As soon as they get to the magical forest barrier, the plot just stops flowing and turns into loosely connected scenes. Here's everyone being lost. Now it's an Olaf song. Now it's everyone being lost again. Now they're meeting a bunch of characters that don't factor into the plot whatsoever and could be cut without anything changing. Now it's everyone being lost again. Now it's a Kristoff rock power ballad with singing reindeer. Okay, now Kristoff's out of the movie for the next 30 minutes. Bye! Now it's everyone being lost. Okay, so let me see if I understand the plot correctly. Anna and Elsa's mother saved her father's life, and so the forest spirits decided to reward her by giving her daughter ice powers she can't control that left her isolated from everyone else, including her sister, and which ultimately led to both of the parents' untimely death when they went out looking for answers on how to fix the ice curse. What a great gift! Thanks for that, spirits. So now Elsa is being called by a memory of her mother, I guess, in order to watch a magic snowman version of her grandfather reenact that time he attacked the peaceful tribe living here, because they just noticed after the dam was built that the dam was not a good thing for them. Then she freezes to death, but she can magically send a snow telegram to Anna that showcases their grandfather attacking the other guy, and Anna immediately realizes that that means they need to break the dam somehow. Like, immediately, she understands that this snow sculpture in front of her equals the dam must be destroyed. How did she figure that out? And when did Elsa learn how to send magical snowman telegrams that somehow hone in on Anna's exact location, because there's no way she could have known where she was? He's about to leave her for good when this happens.
Bojack?
Well, we made it. It's the dreaded episode 11 of this season, Time's Arrow. I'm just gonna be blunt. This is my favorite episode of BoJack Horseman, and one of my top 2 favorite episodes of television ever. It's basically tied with Ozymandias from Breaking Bad. This episode does the impossible and manages to humanize one of the most utterly despicable characters in the entire series, illustrating exactly what made Beatrice into the monster we know her as. He's extremely hesitant to open up about his trauma at all. He's kept a band-aid on that wound for over 1,000 years, and Tamatoa just ripped it clean off. There is no way in hell Maui would ever open up about his trauma unless a sick, twisted villain laid it all out in the open for another person to see. But now that it's out, Maui finally has a heart-to-heart with Moana about why he is the way he is, and why he does the things he does. Everything he accomplished was done in order to gain acceptance from the ones who abandoned him. He did all these great deeds not out of vanity, but because he craved the love of these humans who made him feel wanted. And yet, it was never enough. He tried to be tough, but his armor's just not hard enough. And we never would have fully understood the man Maui is inside if we didn't get to see the monster who represents the perils and bitter loneliness of being who you are on the outside. And in the end, after we see our heroes embrace their true inner selves and live a peaceful, fulfilling life, who do we see at the very end, lying on his back, alone and miserable? Maybe I'll try and go back for the genocide route one day. but for the time being, I really don't know if I have it in me. I think I'll take what I learned from this playthrough and try to view the world through a kinder lens. Hell, I've already come to reevaluate the ending of Last of Us 2 now that I have a better understanding of what Ellie's headspace probably was in that moment. It's never too late to start being merciful, and I think that's the message that game was going for with its ending. It's a shame it couldn't have portrayed that message through its gameplay, and it's kind of an embarrassment story-wise when you compare it to Undertale, but hey, at least I understand the intentions behind the ending better now. It's like appreciating the intentions behind the prequels now that Clone Wars exists and does those concepts and stories better.
I guess you can say, cut up. Got cut up. But yeah, the other death in this episode was really heavy.
Wow, that was deep. Anyway, this episode was so good. I hope the next episode is also good. Oh, no. And yes, Zelda must fulfill her duty as the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia and forever sleep in order to keep the seal on the Demon King Demise going. The only way to free her from this eternal slumber and destroy Demise is through the wish-granting power of the Holy Grail. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Fate recently. I mean the Triforce.
Fate review when?
I probably won't do this for Galaxy 2, because that requires me to go dig my Wii U out of the dumpster. Plus, that game has so many green stars that ranking them all would actually kill me. I wouldn't expect this for 64 and Sunshine either, because I actually have never 100%ed either of those games. I have 100% completed Odyssey before, but yeah, no, we're not ranking those. 3D World, the best level is every single one with the double cherry, and the worst level is every single one without the double cherry. It's a big tie. Okay, that's all. Good night, Tri-State Galaxy. Let's do a quick thought experiment, guys. Pretend for a minute that you had never heard of the Prince of Egypt. Pretend this movie doesn't exist. Okay? Now, when I tell you that DreamWorks Animation made an adaptation of the biblical story of Moses, what kind of movie do you picture? Probably something terrible, right? Something with awful 3D animation, something that doesn't take the story seriously at all, loaded with extremely lame comic relief delivered by a plethora of overpaid celebrities. Well, unfortunately, DreamWorks didn't do that. They had to go ahead and make some big epic masterpiece instead. Now, Sony, on the other hand, they went ahead and made the exact movie you just imagined. So as the movie goes on, Alberto suddenly gets jealous that Luca's spending so much time with the girl. He's justifiably afraid of losing him to the heteros. And King Candy, ooh, that little bitch! You understand why Ralph believes him, even if you don't. But also, damn, that slippery little dickwad! He caused all this emotional trauma, oh my god! This is a great movie. Okay, so get this. Out of the four open season movies, they literally had to replace the voice actors for the two main characters in every single one. Not just, oh, we couldn't get the big celebrities from the first movie back for the direct-to-DVD sequels, so we'll just find new actors that'll play them in all these sequels. No, they literally got new actors to play them just for Open Season 2, then they couldn't get those guys back, so they got new actors for Open Season 3, who then didn't come back for Open Season Scared Silly. No one wants to voice these terrible characters for more than one movie, which is truly emblematic of what a haphazard, utter mess of a franchise Open Season is. It seemed like such a well-paced episode that was taking its time in order to build up to a far more powerful and sinister Killmonger than we got in the original movie. But it just ends before we could see him do anything truly substantial. Yeah, he killed Don Cheadle and friends, but so what? You know how many major characters die in this show? You know how many times Tony Stark has died? It would never work. No one believes in Tamatoa except for me.
That's not true at all, James. After all, you made all these fine people believe.
Oh shit, it's all my editors.
Oscar Sharktail literally committed several war crimes while he was the Shark Slayer, and Tamatoa is literally God. It is impossible to compare the two.
If there's anything I could say about our Lord and Savior Tamatoa, it can only be one word: glorious. And you know what else is glorious? The name of the song from Rock Dog, in which you should totally check out.
Tamatoa is not a turtle. Vern is a turtle. Tamatoa is a crab. And the next time I hear, oh, Tamatoa is a turtle, I'm gonna punch that person.
He outsmarted the Incredibles, he's a great stepfather, he's rich, he even has a beautiful sin voice. That sin voice? Hell yeah!
Shout out to Tamatoa for not only giving us the best seed in Moana, but also the best YouTube channel. Wait, you're telling me Schaffrillas isn't a giant shiny crab in real life?
We rule this Tamatoa Praise City! Screw Oscar who thinks otherwise!
Oscar the fish from Shark Tale. More like not worthy of an Oscar nomination, am I right?
Oh, ha. Will Smith is a fish. He did better as a bird. Don't you fucking at me.
You know, I cannot personally vouch for Oscar from Shark Tale because he has on multiple occasions chewed Dorito crumbs into my keyboard, and he's slapped me in the face and called me a fanny many times.
On Goop Videos, and there's this guy named Oscar, and he's been talked about an awful lot recently. So here's my big comeback to you, Oscar. You're a poopy head. You want me to spell it out? You're a poopy head!
You tell Will Smith Fish he'll never eat lunch in this town again.
I have never understood why you like Tamatoa, but your passion is incredible. Now go out there and show the rest of the world to believe in him too. Right, William?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Tamatoa, the coconut people, f***ing Jeff Bezos, they all wanted their hands on this immensely powerful artifact, but the ocean made sure they weren't gonna get it all that time. What a Chad. I genuinely want to know why the people who made this movie thought a donkey and his annoying bird friend were more interesting protagonists than the parents of Jesus Christ. Like Jesus Christ, that's Jesus Christ. I don't understand this movie at all. And then at the end, we get to see Jesus and he looks like the boss baby.
Yes, I'm the baby Jesus.
What? Almost everything in this movie is bad and boring and unfunny, and they should have just made it about Joseph and Mary because they were the only good parts. Joel Osteen is in this movie. Just kill me now. Is it Osteen or Osteen? Who cares? He sucks. I hate movies. Don't make me watch anymore. I'm done after this one. I'm just gonna watch nothing but VeggieTales for the rest of my life because VeggieTales is a certified banger. But make no mistake, this is the absolute worst movie musical I've ever seen in my life, and it's not even fun to make fun of. It's just a pathetic, shallow vanity project that only exists so a narcissistic scumbag can portray a sociopathic man-child in the most embarrassing manner imaginable. You really let them see the worst of you. You got what you always wanted. You've got your dream come true. Good for you. I should stop now. I have like 15 more of these puns in store. I really hope Evan Hansen goes surfing one day and gets eaten by a shark. Bada boom. That's the transition to Surfshark VPN. I'm actually too angry to think of a better transition. Let's talk about Surfshark VPN now, baby. People of the world, Oscar from Shark Tale is preparing to destroy all the land and wipe us out. We can only stop him with the help of Tamatoa, and we can only summon Tamatoa if we all work together. He loves bragging about how great he is, and if all of us talk about his magnificence together, he'll appear before us. So quick, talk about how amazing Tamatoa is. Talk about why you love him so much. He will ascend from the realm of monsters, witness his loving fans heap praise upon him, and do everything in his power to save us from destruction. He won't sit idly by and let our constant praise of him die out. This motivation may be shallow, but so was Maui's. There's potential for all characters to grow, and this will be his first step towards true heroism. Oscar believes himself to be the ultimate life form. He believes that he has the right to destroy us all and impart his will upon the planet. But I tell you now, that was his mistake! We will take our planet back, no matter what it takes! Woo! Woo-hoo! Woo! Yeah!
Yeah, baby, yeah!
You've done it again, good old boy.
おめでとう。
おめでとう。
Okay, now this change was actually really cool, and no one talks about it. So in Return of the Jedi, they added new dialogue to that one conversation Vader and the Emperor have on the Death Star. Palpy says, "Soon the rebellion will be crushed and young Skywalker will be one of us." And then Vader's like, "Yes, my master. But what do you plan on doing afterwards?" "I don't know. I never thought I'd get this far. Perhaps I shall take up knitting and create a new line of wool stormtroopers that I can sell for profit." "But how will you create a website to promote your new business, master?" "It is simple, Lord Vader. I will use Squarespace. Once more, Squarespace shall have a sponsored ad." And we shall have pretty bitchin' websites. Wait, I'm confused. What is Squarespace exactly? Oh, hold on. I think I have an ad for it somewhere in the Death Star files. Let me see. Oh, yes, here it is. The boy is a grifter, always opting to make up lies in order to get his way, saying he's a time cop from the future, or convincing Lewis to work on the time machine in exchange for taking him to see his mother, which is something he never had any intention of actually doing.
I was never gonna do it, I swear.
You lied to me?
No!
Yeah. Why shouldn't Arendelle be destroyed as a symbol of atoning for the sins of the past? And then rebuilt by Anna and the current people of Arendelle as a symbol of them building a better future? There's no one in the kingdom right now. It's completely empty. The climax hinges on Elsa saving a bunch of worthless buildings from being destroyed. That ain't heroic. That's just tacky. Frozen 2 is just a tacky, cheap movie that had so much potential to outdo the original. It really wasn't a high bar to clear, and yet this one practically tripped underwater. Who in the halibut trips underwater? You know what I'm saying? No, no one does. I'm the only person who speaks Shark Tale. The point is, this is a mess. They should have thought out the story at some point before making it. Kristoff should have married that other reindeer guy. Matthias should have mattered to the story. Olaf should have shut the f*** up. But it was still funny when he reenacted the first film, so I guess Frozen 2 has that going for it. Oh yeah, I watched those other shorts where he reenacts other Disney movies, and actually those were kind of funny too. Or maybe I was just tricked into liking them because he dressed as Tamatoa that one time. I think I may have Stockholm Syndrome, so I'm going home. The gore is a delight, as is the raunchy humor. Basically, this is what you'd get if Deadpool was an actual movie. We asked you guys for a title for this series, and I really like Mockbuster Video. Hey guys, Tony Stark here to explain the joke. You see, Mockbuster Video is a play on Blockbuster Video, which is a store that existed during the Jurassic period that rented VHSs to people.
Go Tamatoa. Go Tamatoa.
Praise be he who is Tamatoa! Let's not forget the most important detail of all. He is shiny!
Reject humanity, reject monkey, embrace crab, all hail Monatoa.
Tell me, he is not the peak of human evolution.
Tamatoa, you are the reason I get up in the morning.
Praise our Lord and Savior Tamatoa. He is the ultimate Disney villain, no exceptions. All hail Tamatoa.
Tamatoa, you're the best villain in the Disney universe.
Thank you, Tamatoa, for all you have given us. Your song has brought many enjoyment.
You've deserved so much more screen time.
Oh, great Tamatoa, your shininess is chef's kiss.
Tamatoa, thank you for being better than every character in Fire Emblem Fates.
Tamatoa, based.
Hey, Tamatoa! Nice claw! Please make my head as shiny as Tamatoa.
I love this crab more than I love myself.
I love Tamatoa so much that I could make a 24-hour video of how great he is.
This Tamatoa is the hero Gotham needs, but not the one he really deserves right now.
And for those who walk in his shell's light, they shall find everlasting fish.
Now let's head over to Faron Woods and finish strong. Oh no! Why the fuck do we need to fight the imprisoned a third time? What does that add to the game? We just fought him like an hour ago!
You piece of shit!
Welcome to the worst boss battle in Zelda history and one of the worst I've ever fought in a video game. He moves way too fast, and the Groosinator doesn't stun him for nearly long enough to slice up all his toes, meaning you have to sit there and wait for Groose to charge it up again. You can't slice the toes if he's not stunned because of these ridiculous, impossible to dodge shockwaves. Then when you get the toes sliced, this motherfucker takes up the entire space, so you gotta go all the way around and hope he doesn't stand back up before you get to the seal on his forehead. You can bypass all that by jumping on top of his head and going straight for the seal, but it's still a pain to keep ahead of him enough to make it to a geyser and reach a higher level without getting hit by these damn shockwaves. Then the dumb bitch starts flying and you gotta bomb it out of the sky, but oh no, the bomb supply has been cut off. So you gotta race up there and let Groose catapult you on top of this guy's forehead. It's somewhat satisfying to land on top of the thing, sure. That's the one bright spot in an ocean of shit. But if you miss this shot, you won't have enough time to try again because of how rapidly this piece of approaches the temple. This third battle with the worst Zelda boss of all time is the absolute low point of the game, and maybe the entire series. That's not even an extreme opinion. Every Zelda fan I know hates the Imprisoned. It's just a colossal failure of imagination and game design, taking a super cool concept of a cursed Demon King and turning it into a Sesame Street-ass kaiju. Remember, don't let this thing taint your boss rush mode. Do the Thunder Dragon thing first and you won't have to refight it. At least it can't get any worse.
endless trash!
Well, I sure did watch the Emoji Movie. It's definitely awful, but I also didn't hate it, nor did I find it ironically enjoyable. Instead of completely infuriating me, I was just apathetic and numb throughout the entire experience. I guess you could say my reaction to it was... meh. Okay, so what movie could have possibly topped Spirited Away and taken the title of the best Ghibli movie, in my opinion? Because that just seems too far-fetched to be true. A movie better than Spirited Away would have to be utterly transcendent. It would have to be inhumanly spectacular. A movie that feels less like it was crafted by actual people and more like something that was gifted to us from the heavens. I was pretty confident going in that no such movie existed. And I was dead fucking wrong. The Tale of the Princess Kaguya is one of the best movies I have ever seen in my life. It doesn't feel real. I honestly didn't know movies could be this good, and I'm struggling to think of a single thing wrong with it. It all comes together right here so beautifully. Just the fact that they have this conversation beforehand about how Rapunzel has wanted to see the lanterns for so long, and that if they're everything she dreamed of, now she gets to find a new dream. And what happens after she finally sees the lanterns? She and Eugene embrace and focus entirely on each other instead of the lanterns, because they're each other's new dream. Bro, this movie fucking slaps. Why am I so much more invested in Rapunzel and Eugene's romance than Anna and Kristoff's, or Simba and Nala's, or Ariel and Eric's, or Pocahontas and generic white man's? I think it just comes down to the fact that this movie is so laser focused on the romance for a change. It's not just something they threw on top of another more compelling central story. It's tantamount to why this story works as well as it does. But Disney's priority has kind of shifted lately, and they don't want to focus on romance anymore because they think it'll make their female characters seem weak. Look man, the fact that their old princesses fell in love wasn't the weak thing. It was the fact that said love was barely developed and forced into the story just because it's a fairy tale trope. There's nothing wrong with having a female character fall in love, as long as you make sure they have a character outside of that love. They pulled this off beautifully with Rapunzel, but then decided it wasn't good enough, I guess, and they needed to be more subversive. Frozen thinks it's so smart by constantly saying, I'm not like other princess movies, and subverting the whole instant romance concept. But then turning around and giving us this half-assed, tepid, milquetoast, will they or won't they chicanery between Anna and Kristoff. That ain't love. What Rapunzel and Eugene have, that's love. You just feel their natural chemistry way more in this movie than in the Frozens. But what really seals the deal is the powerhouse, gorgeous musical number that just brings the house down. Just like the title song of Beauty and the Beast and A Whole New World before it. There's a sort of Cruella de Vil-like song where all the family members sing about how villainous some guy named Bruno is, and they do a lot of creative stuff with scene changes and whatnot. Between this and Luca, it's clear that Disney really fucking hates people named Bruno. I'm so sorry, Brunos out there. I hate the Tad Tones so much, you guys. You have no idea. Oh my god. So the water dragon flooded the entire forest to get rid of the monsters. She really just said, F the peaceful plant people who live here, huh? Cool. Very likable. Very great ally. Very cool. Thank you, game. And get this. Even though we saved her fucking life earlier, she still isn't convinced that we're a good enough hero to hear the song part. What makes us a true hero in her eyes? Dicking around in the water and collecting tadpoles. Ma'am, there is a demon lord that came dangerously close to destroying the world 3 times now, and you want me to waste my time looking for music notes in this dingy ass water? Get all the way fucked. This is the exact same problem as the Elden Volcano section, where we're doing something for no good reason whatsoever, except this time, it's not even mildly fun. It's tedious and agonizing. You're basically required to use the dowsing to track down the last few tadpoles, but you can't do it in the water, so you gotta keep dipping in and out to get a vague idea of what direction they're in. You can't miss a single one in the chain, or else they all leave your inventory and you gotta start the whole thing over. The swimming controls aren't that great. On the Wii, they're terrible, and on the Switch, they're just boring. It takes so long to get all of them, and it's easily the biggest waste of time in the entire game. Again, why are we doing this? The Thunder Dragon gave you a song because you saved his life. The Fire Dragon just f***ing gave it to you, no questions asked. What is this bitch's problem? Is it because we broke her water basin that she didn't even need anymore? Who gives a shit?
Oh, that's all well and good, but I can't go around giving away something that's precious to every hero who flounders around in my waters.
What the f*** are you talking about? Are there other heroes in your life? I am shocked that more Zelda fans don't hate the water dragon. They hate the tad tones as much as I do, sure, but let's not forget who made us do this despite it being completely irrational. There is not a single positive thing I can say about this segment or this character. The entire Fair on Wood segment is what really tanks the third act of Skyward Sword. It's the lowest point in the game, and nothing as of yet in this third act has hit the same highs as the second act. Yes, they really just filmed the voice actors doing a car wash in order to raise money to get the animation back, because the characters in the show spent all their money. This is genuinely the greatest fourth wall break in cinematic history. It doesn't even matter that Chowder isn't a movie. It's still the best in cinematic history because Chowder is cinema. Martin Scorsese is looking at Chowder and thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? I can feel the praise for Tamatoa rising. It's working! The climactic battle is at hand.
That's good, because according to these readings, we don't have much time. If we can separate Oscar from the heart of Tafiti, the moon will disappear. But Oscar is being protected by a force field generated by this castle he's hiding in. If we can destroy the castle, Oscar's shield will be gone, and once you beat him up and take the heart back, the moon will be gone as well.
Seems simple enough. And whenever a castle needs to be stormed, you gotta put some fitting music on. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention, during the Buff Girls song, she mentions Hercules, and they show him on screen. But he doesn't look like Hercules from the 90s movie. This is the same studio that made Hercules. Why did they not go for such an obvious reference? It's almost like this fake Hercules is a malicious virus that you could avoid if you're using Surfshark VPN! Haha, yes! Back to my old absurd transition-y self. Ein Klein is... whatever, it's fine. It uses a pre-existing instrumental song. You know the one. The same one that plays at the beginning of the Mario Bros song in Smash. Man, I am uncultured.
You uncultured swamps!
If you just happen to have an extra $1 lying around, it could go a long way, because then you could remove an entire pound of Shark Tale DVD cases from the ocean. The average DVD case is 2.62 ounces, which means $1 could potentially get rid of about 6 used copies of Shark Tale that have been lying in the ocean ever since Oscar took it over by force and passed copies of his movie out as propaganda. Good thing Tamatoa ate him, huh? Too bad he can't eat all this trash. It's not nearly shiny enough for his diet. But after we beat it, we collect the entire Triforce, and Link wishes this upon the imprisoned. Yes! Finally, the Demon King is dead and Zelda's free. It's a happily ever after. And I didn't even notice this on my first viewing. Yes, I said first. I have watched this multiple times. But after getting a boot put on her by Diesel, Speedy is still mad at Sparky for accusing Diesel of being not nice. Oh no!
That's unfair! Why is the world so judgmental about free-thinking, quirky cars? Especially females!
Do you think think Diesel effectively utilized girl power by isolating and stranding cars in the desert in order to murder them and use their spare parts for profit? I don't know about that.
And now for the best scene in the whole movie, the aforementioned Speedy getting murdered scene. It is so satisfying to see this annoying piece of shit get absolutely trashed by this giant wrecker car that works for Diesel. Throughout this whole scene, James and I were like, yes! But before Diesel's minion can murder Sparky, the cop car shows up with a fucking ballistic missile, which for some reason doesn't explode. It just lightly taps Diesel and knocks her over. Hey, wait a minute. Shouldn't Norbert have exploded when they got set on fire earlier? Who gives a shit?
Oh yeah, Chris, I've been meaning to ask. Where were you this whole time? You didn't show up until right before the final battle.
Ooh, sorry about that. I was busy saving the entire multiverse from being destroyed by Barry B. Benson from B-Movie. I had to collect some mystical kidney stones by talking to famous YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and Jablinski Games. And eventually I stopped Barry with the help of Keith, the flying spaghetti monster.
Wow, that sounds terrible. Speaking of terrible, hey James, got anything to say to end off the video?
I think I do. Moana is such an engaging heroine because of how apparent her weaknesses are. And watching her overcome these weaknesses is such a profound display of her strength. Imagine not having weaknesses and just being able to fight real good and be a girl boss. That's not strength. There's no growth here. This is worthless. Sometimes the strongest characters are the weakest ones, and such is the case with Moana. Sometimes they just refuse to follow me, or they get stuck on grass somewhere, or one of them eats up an entire pile of nectar like a gluttonous pig. I usually give whichever Pikmin that does that the death sentence, because they truly deserve it. Trust me, I too am disappointed that I'm not angry about this film. Apathy is a tragedy and boredom is a crime and all that, but this is where we're at. This is the state of movies. At least Space Jam 2 and Ralph Breaks the Internet are funny bad. This movie has nothing. It is nothing. I am forgetting everything about it as we speak, and if we're being honest, so have you. Why would you go through the trouble of adding the Jabba scene back in when they literally repeat the same lines verbatim from the Greedo scene? Why is the CGI incomprehensibly bad? Why does Boba Fett look at the goddamn camera? Why is Greedo wandering around in the background when he just got shot? You can't make this shit up. And do I even need to talk about Greedo and that load of McClunky that is his scene? Disney, I am begging you, please re-release the good version of A New Hope. The one that isn't even called A New Hope because that title is stupid. It's Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars. Star Wars is Star Wars. Good night, Tri-State Galaxy. Bowler Hat Guy takes the invention and says the most beautiful line in the entire movie. Masterpiece. I think about that quote and tear up on a daily basis. Thank you for that, beautiful man. Hotel Transylvania 3, Summer Vacation. Is that really what you're gonna call this movie? That's not even a pun. Summer Vacation. Where's the funny? Actually, that's a good summation of this movie. It's not funny. Why did it feel the need to reuse old character artwork on the shattered glass? Why are we jumping off buildings now? What is going on? There are some emotional moments late in the film that are good in a vacuum, but kinda come out of nowhere and feel a bit forced within the narrative. Like, the characters are doing all sorts of wacky shenanigans, and then Dracula suddenly says, "Haha, Jonathan, you are going to hear about the trauma I endured after my wife was murdered." Like, what? And the ending bit, which just screams Scooby-Doo, as it should for an anime based off of what is essentially Scooby-Doo in Japan.
Scooby-Doo this crap.
Send me your funny bowler hat guy memes, please, I need sustenance. Speaking of sustenance, you know what else needs sustenance? Sharks. And Surfshark VPN. Guys, this is the end of the year. I'm very tired from thinking of all these sponsor transitions. Can you just give me this one? Also, we do this Hunger Games simulator on Chris's channel, Space Chris 7, every Wednesday night on stream, where we take random characters and throw them into a Hunger Games sim. For the quarter quell, I promised I would make a 5-second review of the source material for whichever character won, and the winner was Chuck, the evil sandwich making guy from Word Girl. See, this is thematically appropriate because Word Girl fights a ton of villains, and Spider-Man No Way Home had a ton of villains. Whoa, look at that. Makes perfect sense, actually. So here's my 5-second review of Word Girl. Ahem. Word Girl is a banger, way better than any show for young children should be. It's really funny. I want to fuck Dr. Two Brains. Good night, Tri-State Spider-Verse. I know most people just think this one is good, or even great, and that's about it for them. That's totally fine. But I, for one, think this is a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece. Please, for the love of Tafiti, watch it if you haven't already. I think that's about it. I really hope I didn't forget to talk about anything. Oh yeah, This is embarrassing. How did I forget? I wanted to point out how uncomfortable Tafidi's fingers make me. Like, I know that's plants, but it kind of looks like green Cheeto dust, and I don't like it. Looking at Cheeto dust on fingers makes me uncomfortable for some reason. This is the only thing wrong with Toy Story 2, which is otherwise a perfect movie. I don't like Al's Cheeto dust fingers. Okay, now that's everything. Good night, Tri-State area. Oh wait, right, there's a crab in this movie. Huh. Yeah, I kinda like the crab. May or may not have based my entire online brand around him after seeing the movie for the first time. May or may not have hosted a YouTube poop collab and a reanimated collab around his scene. May or may not have made an 82-minute feature film / analysis video about the crab featuring cameos from 40 other content creators and a ton of fans, plus an elaborate YouTube poop-esque ending with original vocals that took me 8 months to put together. Maybe you should check that out if you haven't already. Okay, now that's it. Bye! I've been on YouTube for a little over 6 years now. And in those 6 years, this channel has undergone a lot of changes. Starting out as a place for my digital media projects and AMVs in high school, blooming into a haven for YouTube poops with wacky overarching lore, and for the past 3 years, it's mainly been a media analysis channel, but who knows if that'll last forever. I've always just made the kind of videos I wanted to make at any given time, but I also wanted to have some sort of consistent through line throughout all my videos, regardless of what kind of videos they are. And that through line ended up being Tamatoa. Even though this channel predates him by a year and a half, he quickly made up for that lost time by appearing everywhere. I've made meme videos about him, I've made a ton of AMVs of both him singing various songs and other characters singing Shiny. I included him in a ton of YouTube poops, hosted an entire YouTube poop collab around his scenes, followed that up with an entire reanimated collab about him and his song. And now, this video. Tamatoa is just really special to me, for all the reasons I just explained. And in addition, I think the fact that he has such limited screen time and doesn't have a super large fan base means that he feels way more personal to me than he would otherwise. It's like he's my own character. The sort of wacky, nonsensical, musical, malicious, delightful creation I'd love to add to the world. He's just everything I want in a character, and I'm so happy he exists. If you find yourself obsessed with a certain character and other people don't really get it, don't worry about it. You don't need to make a 1-hour video explaining yourself. Whatever's special to you is special for a reason, even if you don't fully understand the reason yourself. It's totally okay as long as you're not hurting anyone. As the movie says, just be true to who you are on the inside. And for the love of God, let people dislike the things that you like. I literally could not care less that some people don't like Tamatoa. Please stop messaging me about that. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Okay, now I don't know how to end this.
Isn't it obvious? Let's just put all our icons on the heads of the characters at the end of Shrek 2 and do a freeze frame.
Oh yeah, why didn't I think of that?
This go? With myself? That's outrageous.
And I will crush that Spider-Man, and then that other Spider-Man, and all the Spider-Man, till I'm the Spider-Man. Spider-Man, we're at it again. This time with 50% more Spider-Man.